So since I had marked here for editing purposes later on, hello future viewers, guess what? Sony still can't, Sony's controller is still a piece of dog shit and won't connect. Buy a new one then. This controller is 2 months old. Actually, it's not 2 months. 4 months. I bought it after, I bought it mainly for FS7, so yeah, about 4 months. It should not have this issue. In fact, it should not have this issue because it was A, fully charged, and B, directly connected to the console. No other console since the dawn of time has issues even when you're connected to the controller is connected to the system. And if Sony's solution is just lull, buy a new one, they can go fuck themselves. I really hope that this isn't going to be the same issue with the PS5, because, like, I kind of want to get the PS5 for Demon's Souls.
Oh, Demon's Souls.
Yes,
Demon's Souls.
I want to go back and get ruined by Flamefucker. I'm farming Liquid Mercury for the perma lockpick. I don't think I ever... Like, I could've... Can I make that?
Okay.
You read the book and bought the tools. You could probably make 24? Oh my god! Oh, I'm short aluminum sheets. So I have the mercury, I just don't have the aluminum, and I don't know where to get that. I'll just make 5, fucking whatever. You know what? We've never had Kawakami make us tools. I'm gonna go and try this out. How will Kawakami feel about making lockpicks? You're just gonna not address that, huh? Just totally irrelevant to you, huh? I kind of wish there was some context, which is like, wait, what are you doing? Okay, so if I want to buy some lockpicks material... I was discussing this with some people in other Discords, but it really is a shame that once you hit the relationship button, it kind of doesn't fucking matter outside of the game.
What do you mean?
Like, once you hit the relationship button, any, like, time spent with them is irrelevant in that regard, and it only matters for, like, 3 key cutscenes.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. It's kind of a pain. I think at least your rank 10s show up in the game in a few parts.
I also kind of wish that, even if the relationships didn't matter, I was hoping that I could explore, you know, those social links where you go somewhere and then meet other members of the team. But I haven't had one of those in ever, so I'm kind of like... Where can Chester buy aluminium?
That's crazy.
Hello! God, that's kind of fucking expensive. Also, it's only 2 Man! Only 2 sheets, really? Is there any other place where I could buy aluminum? Do you have anything?
I thought you could buy aluminum in like a part store, right?
Yeah, I went to Akihabara, and they only have 2 sheets of it.
As they said in the chat, the secondhand shop has stuff too.
Oh, shit.
I love secondhand shops. Secondhand shops kick ass, by the way, even in the real world.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just rare to find them, but you can find the coolest stuff at them.
I don't know if we're talking about the same stuff, but like the equivalent in my area is just basically antique stores, and that's where I just find. Okay, so that's the same thing.
Well, pawn shops.
Oh wait, is this the place? No, it's not. No, that's a bar. I was like, is that the place? No, this is the place.
What would you like?
Nope. None of that shit here, just liquid mercury, which I don't need.
Weird that you don't need that now after looking for it for so long.
It just kind of fell in my lap, and I am very perplexed at that. Oh, what am I going to do with my evening, then? Do I have any S-links I need to explore? Should we explore Mishima's?
No.
I have nothing else to do.
That's less than nothing. Look, I like the idea of ignoring Mishima as much as possible, okay?
I like it
It's
too.
not going to be 100% one because fuck Mishima.
I agree with that sentiment. Like,
Go to the gym or something if you're bored.
oh yeah. I
Also,
could
good advice for life. Hey, viewers at home, go to the gym or something if you're bored.
I totally forgot that gym exists in this game.
Yeah, if you go there, it raises your max HP a little bit.
Is it better than doing workout at home? So what is the gym?
Yes and no. In general, if you use the same facilities to work out, you get diminishing returns over time.
I see. What's the gym?
You gotta mix it up. You gotta use those. You gotta use that muscle confusion highway.
I forget. Where is the gym? Is it in Shibuya or is it in Naomi Ichome?
Dude, I forget too. I think it's in Naomi Chome because I'm pretty sure you get access to it before Shibuya opens.
Oh, it's in Shibuya. It's just that I was in somewhere else. Where am I at? Oh, I'm in Shinjuku. That's why. Moon Persona is needed for the voice of God. Well, Mastamata could go fuck himself. After all the shit he did to me in Strange Journey, fucking whatever. Oh, it does both, not just HP. So this is just better.
Yeah.
Though, admittedly, spending $20 to go to the gym feels a little for me.
Hey there.
I mean, you have money, Highway.
I know I have money, but like IRL me, a man who is just like, where could I put this money for better use? And it's like $20 a day for a gym. What?
I mean, you have like it's better to get a membership usually for gyms.
Oh,
You just use them
absolutely.
Daily.
Equipment.
But if you want to think of it that way, think about how much $20 is for you in terms of time working.
Oh yeah.
Did I buy some protein shakes, Cat?
Cat, those things have been in my bag since like April.
Protein.
Take your protein, Highwing. Take your protein, Chester.
Chester, take one in each hand. Double shotgun.
Oh no, this has been 7-month-old protein.
Cat's been sitting. I was like, when's he gonna eat this stuff?
Well then.
Chester, you're gonna die.
Oh.
Yeah, he is. Look at this. Look at this goon run.
He's doing that golden boy ass run is what he's doing.
I know, right?
Study,
Oh,
study,
shit!
Study, 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 no!
I'm fucking dead. This is the Yamcha pose. Is this on purpose?
It is absolutely on purpose.
Yay!
All right.
Nice.
that pose is the
Alright.
running away is the
Alright.
Futaba running from Mishima
Wanna head back?
pose. Yeah, I've also what I do for exercise is I just take about an hour every day to do a run around my block.
Hi.
It's you know it has literally no price on it and it works.
I would run if it wasn't. Well, you must have better endurance than me because, like, I can't even stand going outside, and it's like when it's like 100+ degrees.
Well, first of all, that's half the point is to hate every fiber of your being, and also I do it in the morning. It's
That
less
makes
hot.
sense.
because you know my work. I work overnights. I get off at 6 or 8 a.m. So usually the moment I get off work, before I even go into my house, I'll take a jog around the block for about an hour.
That's also really good for you because doing exercise before you go to bed. I forget what exactly it does, but it makes you get a way more restful night's sleep.
Yeah, it burns more energy, and it's true too. I've gotten a whole lot more energy by doing that too, because I've been doing regular running since about mid-May, and I wear ankle weights when I do it too. So
Okay, Rock Lee. I'm just fucking around.
I'm not nearly that Canadian.
Is it Rock?
No,
I was like-
that's one of the Bridge series things.
Ah.
I don't know why they did that to him, but they made him Canadian.
I also like how apparently Yusuke is taking our route to school, even though he's in a totally different school. I guess the implication that it's not the same train, but PSP-san is there, so it has to be.
Maybe his school is just further down the line.
They don't really explore where exactly his school is. Also, hello, Chitlin.
Hey, what's up? I mean, I'm just saying, trains don't do just one stop. They go multiple places.
Oh yeah, I still gotta do Shinya's thing. Well, Chitlin, you get to explore the social aspect of this game in the late game, where I'm sitting around here with what is effectively $1,700, as I go ahead and throw that money to a fortune teller to manipulate social links. This game sends a good message.
There's a
What shall we do?
there's a place I pass on my way to work that advertises like palm readings and fortune telling and stuff like that. I'm kind of tempted to just stop by.
If they have to advertise, that's kind of a weird thing. If they have the money to advertise, they must be working. But also,
I mean, it's not really like advertising per se. It's just like a sign in front of a building that I see occasionally. So
the only time I would go to a fortune teller is if, say, like in this situation where if I'm walking around and I just so happen to pass one that's there, I'd be like, all right, sure.
oh yeah, totally. But
I wouldn't
Yeah,
trust it. I wouldn't trust anybody that does a Paul marketing for their mysticism.
Hey man, I know my mysticism, and that ain't real.
See, the one I did is this is gonna sound hella fucking nerdy, but the only time I did a fortune reading was when I was at a Renaissance fair.
I always be like,
nice.
the only time I did a fortune reading, I used magic cards. The Gathering.
Yes, this card represents the Ten of Swords. No,
Because it's 10 swords.
God, there should be like a Magic the Gathering tarot deck.
No, there shouldn't. No, there shouldn't. Chipman.
No,
I disagree.
Why not?
because it'd be
It's a terrible idea.
Huh. Well, I did want to max out Futaba. I have a feeling
Because
that this is a character that
The thought of having to draw a Magic the Gathering based card that says the Hanged Man on it, and it's like some dumb actually hanged man. I'm going to want to punch whoever made that card.
Oh, wait a minute. I completely forgot something. So I'm gonna...
Your sister?
Well, no, I just forgot to... pay, like, what was it, $200 for Chihaya to just basically brain jack me.
Chihiya's gonna go look up the internet for $200. Yeah. And me, of course, I both have had and have done tarot readings multiple times. It's not a thing I do like regularly,
Here
but
we go.
it comes up a couple of times a year at least.
I've never done it at all. Like,
I can do them. I'd be willing to do something like that for y'all, but it's kind of weird to do over the internet because it involves some choices and it doesn't feel right if you
yeah,
if
Yeah.
you don't have someone there do it in person. Like what you can do is you can just tell you to pick like 6 numbers between 1 and 22 or something, but that it doesn't work. It's not as personal, and I don't think that's as effective.
Yeah, I gotta say the one reading I had, it felt vague in a way that felt like she was more like reading my facial
Probably
Yeah, it's
because she
cold
was
reading.
Highwing. A cold reading, exactly.
that's the term. Yeah, it didn't feel like she was looking at the cards. It felt like she was telling me what I wanted to hear.
Yep.
Yo,
They say some vague thing, read how you react to it, then proceed whether or not, how you
So
how
this
you
is a
gave
character.
away yourself.
This is a character I don't think Chitlin's gonna like.
alright.
Is that the gamer chick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
But then again, since we're deep in the social link, I think they lay off the gamer talk and meme culture that she does. She does say "get good" at some point, though, so there's that.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't she? But
It is a good thing to see, though, because her story arc was basically she suffered a trauma so debilitating that she effectively became a shut-in, even though she was a actual-ass genius. And I don't know how long she was in, but it directly, it adversely affected her growth. So not only is she, like, super skinny, she's also super short as a result. And kind of, like, actively crippled socially. And the entire, like, ordeal of hanging out with her is helping her get reacclimated to society.
well, that's good.
Unfortunately, she will always be, like, what, 4'4"?
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with short girls, okay?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hang on.
Wait,
Remember, even though she is the little sister figure and she is still not fully socially acclimated to society, she's still a romantic option.
Yeah, that's weird.
wait, is she like an actual sister? Because that's
No.
not cool.
No, she's a sister figure in that you're put in the care of what is effectively your uncle, and your uncle adopted this girl because she was orphan at like the age of 5, and due to the circumstances of living, it's kind of like a weird brother-sister relationship.
Okay, I got you.
It's an anime brother and sister thing.
It's very
Oh, chat.
it's very skeezy because Japan loves skirting around the idea of like it may be your sister, but it's technically
Highwing.
not. Doesn't that
It's-
like get your
it's
juices flowing?
It's very skeezy as like Persona 5.mp4.
Yeah.
Like maybe I just don't get it because I only have a brother, but I can't imagine people with a sister or whatever. They want to in any way bone down with that person.
It's
I-
such
I
a
just-
weird thing. It's such a weird thing that it's so prevalent in Japan that one game developer started I wouldn't say a successful game series, but an infamous game series because he hated the fact that anime kept like pushing that ideal.
Really. Which series was that?
Drakengard, the first series, a character in the first Drakengard game was made directly as a stab at anime series that involved dating your sister.
It's kind of funny.
Sadness. Drakengard is also fucked up, but like it is documented that Yoko Taro was like, "Yo, this fucking this anime series bullshit is terrible. I'm gonna make fun of it."
Yeah, but Drakengard is notably bad in a very colorful amount of ways. It is a rainbow of bad.
Yeah, it's just one piece of trivia that I enjoy out of the Drakengard series.
Still remember that too, Finful. Near Automata t-shirt, Near Automata t-shirt, fuck Square Enix, Near Automata t-shirt.
Did they publish that game though?
Yeah,
They
but
did. That's why it's hilarious.
Didn't they also put the books to Yoko Taro and effectively put him under duress?
No, I don't believe so. There's that, and I mean, Yoko Taro's done a lot of stuff with Square Enix anyway.
Also, that ability is fucking dope.
Yes, it is.
I was discussing this with someone before the stream, and it kind of exemplifies it here in that the writer. We were discussing before about how the writer's just not good, and it really shows here how the writer just doesn't know what relationships are like.
Maybe we shouldn't have Mishima write the dialogue to Persona 5.
Yeah, right?
I know.
Because, it felt kind of bad here, because the way it was written, it felt like I kind of effectively betrayed Futaba's expectations because she was dependent on me.
Futaba, your dad's gonna kill us both. That's kind of vague, teammate.
That's because I didn't want to date my sister.
Never date your sister.
Just good life advice right there. That's really what I want everyone to take away from this stream. Just don't date your sister. Not cool.
Don't date your sister. Don't date alcoholic adults. Don't date your teacher. All good choices.
Don't date your counselor.
We can't date your counselor because Atlas is a Persona 5. Because Persona 5 is afraid of gay.
They
I had to go through
are.
a sorting algorithm there for a second. I'm sorry.
No problem.
There was a cue.
Yeah, you could tell here that Futaba's kind of fucking crushed. And it
Good. Don't date your sister.
Yeah, but they didn't have to hammer home. It was like, why did you date this sweet gal? You monster! She's so crushed. And I'm like, that's my
It's
sister
okay to date your
video
doctor,
game.
though. Yes, it is okay to date your doctor. It is okay to date your high school teammates if you are also in high school. And it's terrible to not date Yoshizawa.
So I will say this: in terms of doctors, it is okay to date your doctor if you're aware that you actually want to get to know them as a person, and you're not just fawning over them because they saved you. Nightingale
Also,
syndrome. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Do not do it while you are still a patient of said doctor.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
Nightingale syndrome is a real thing and a real problem.
Yes.
Doesn't it seem a little odd that they didn't brag? Well, they didn't put my identity out because they didn't have my body. Well, they could have just they could have doxed me. But yeah, another thing that I was bringing up is that half, if I remember right, half the female dateable cast in this game are adults, right? Because you have
Half, yeah.
You
a
have
weirdly high amount.
You have your teacher, the fortune teller, the doctor.
right.
What else was there?
This is totally
the drunk
bizarre.
reporter.
What's going on here?
Was there a fifth?
Hey!
I mean, how old is Chester is the question here.
Chester's 16.
16, yeah. I thought it was 17, but yeah, it's 16 because he's
No,
not.
you're a second year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think in Japan that's okay.
It technically is, which is
Yeah.
still weird. But also, it feels very forced. And even though I like Chihaya, when she said, "Do you like older women?" and I was just sitting there like, I feel like this is a loaded question. Do I want to hang out with Oya? Or, well, I haven't hung out with Eli in a while, so I should probably do that. Fortune teller is 19. I find that hard to believe. She's like... She looks 22.
That seems like a mean thing to say to Chihaya. Look at how much she's helped you.
I think that that legal age thing numbers is like I remember that being like only in some very small little prefectures or whatever, and not really taken seriously.
I will just say, if Chihaya is in fact 19, I would be genuinely surprised.
What shall we do?
Oh,
It's just
what?
It's just proving that I had the best waifu choice.
Apparently, Chihaya's Japanese VA died recently.
Oh.
That's sad.
I feel like an anime 20 to 35 is completely... Yeah.
What shall we do?
Well, I mean, 25 is basically the Grizzled 4 measure.
What shall
Oh,
we do?
right, I already did the reading, so she won't do that again. Fuck. In which case, I gotta do the backup strat of getting a hanged man persona and just doing grunt work with EY. Do I have a hanged man? No, I don't.
Hey, inmate!
There's a lot of plots in fucking JRPGs where it's like, oh, I'm well past my prime. I'm an old man. I'm 24, and I'm like, go fuck yourself. I didn't hit my prime. I didn't hit my prime until I was like 27. You dick.
Justine, such
You hit your
rudeness.
prime when you were
Keep
27
me
because
as
that's
our
like
guide
when you
until
got a
wish
job.
to perform an execution.
Exactly.
If you hit your
path do you
prime
want?
in your 20s, no.
Then you have to kill yourself by 50? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other option really.
Yeah, no, I worry about that because my sister is, she turned 36 last month, and she's just like telling me,
Finished.
no, you're
Justine.
fine at 30.
You handle this.
It's when you hit 35. And I'm like, that seems like a weirdly specific
here.
number.
Well, I mean, you really need to have like your life together in your 30s. Like your 20s, you just do whatever the fuck you want. Who cares?
Yeah,
But-
like, I feel like I didn't, like, the moment I hit 30, I got my life together. Meanwhile, everybody else around me was, like, gainfully employed and also, like, married and had family. And, like, did I do something fucking wrong here? What's going on?
I mean, I feel kind of the same way. It's a weird
This is what
situation
you want.
because,
You'll
I
withdraw
mean,
this
I am
persona
not
and
married,
accept this
and I
persona.
don't really intend to be, but I've
Are you
had
finished?
gainful employment
Right.
for the last 10 years.
It is time.
It's
inmate.
everything that's not employment that's fucked up.
Because, like, I keep thinking back to one of my, like, childhood friends and a neighbor of mine. He's, like, a year younger than me, and the moment he graduated high school... well, I shouldn't say the moment, but, like, 2 years after he graduated high school, he had already moved out and was in LA for college, and then once he was out of college, he had already gotten married and started a family. And by then, I was still unemployed. Didn't have a relationship, and I was just like, ugh, what am I doing?
Yeah, that can be rough, but also some people have opportunities that other people don't. There's no reason to compare yourself to someone else.
Yeah,
and
but
their
it's hard.
success.
It's hard not to, you know.
It's incredibly hard to look at something someone your age has or someone even younger than your age has and not feel like you're missing out. But at the same time, you got to run your own race. Like you can't compare
It's
who you are to everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
that's unhealthy.
you're not-
You're gonna want to kill yourself if you do that.
I don't know. I, just
I mean,
feel,
I look at myself and I realize that like I said, I have good employment. Everything else is it's a damn mess. But I could be doing worse, and I've had a lot less opportunities for success in my life than most other people. I started off on hard mode, is the way I put it. The moment I was born, I was born with a stomach block. I didn't eat for 2 weeks, and my doctor tried to malpractice me. And it's only gone downhill from there, so I really can't worry too much about it.
I'm gonna need to hear the story of.
Do you wanna plan on playing a new Blasphemous DLC? Adds new games plus, boss is exclusive to it, and you could get a maybe. I don't know.
Well, what happened for me was I'm just ready to talk about that. What happened for me was that when I was born, I did have a stomach block, so there's like a flap of skin that was in my esophagus to keep me from being able to eat or drink anything.
Okay.
I was drinking through intravenous stuff for 2 weeks while they scheduled a surgery to remove it, and the doctor who was assigned to the surgery kept rescheduling it over and over. And after about 2 weeks of it, he went on fucking vacation.
Ugh, wow.
So yeah, that dude tried to kill me, and I was rushed to ER after a certain point because I was literally dying from starvation.
Yeah.
And I was actually pronounced dead for 7 minutes, which is above the 5 that brain death happens, so that might explain why I'm so weird. But I had to be defibrillated back to life and hooked up to an IV in ER to get nutrients, and that's when they removed the stomach block. I don't know what happened to that doctor. My parents, for some reason, never kept his information, but I've said that if I ever do a murder, that's the one who's getting it.
That's
I definitely want to do an I lived bitch on that doctor.
Like I'm sure he had the vacation scheduled long before that, but no, you absolutely don't reschedule life.
That was a malpractice.
Surgery. Yeah, because you want to go on vacation.
Yeah, and it's only really been downhill from there. But I've always found it kind of fun to put in perspective that the moment I was born, people were trying to kill me.
See, that's
so if I look to people who are like with a happy family, a wife, and 2.5 kids, and a Becky, and they're like 26, I don't really care because they probably had more opportunities than I did, and that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm doing the best I can with what I have.
I guess it's just because, like, due to, I don't know. I'm probably just looking for excuses here, but I feel like since I've lived in a fucking dirt small town for most of my life, I've never had the, like, social opportunities to get advice like that, so that's why I'm stuck in this mindset.
I mean, I've had some very poisonous and self-hurting mindsets a lot in my life because of the situations I've been in. Like I said, I can keep a job, I can save money, but oh man, everything else has sucked for me. I had a terrible childhood, I had a terrible schooling, and I had a terrible young adult life. But also, I'm still here. As Elton John once said in a famous song, I'm still standing. So, fuck 'em. I did pretty well, I like to think.
There we go. That's a good attitude.
Yeah, it's good because God knows I'm not going to have it every day. Some days suck. Some days are worse than others, but...
You know, man, that's just life.
What shall we do?
Exactly. Sometimes you end up dating 2 women at once in your workplace, somehow.
Okay, first of all, it was only one. It was only one, motherfucker, okay?
I'm married to my job because it's full of women.
I'm not gonna lie, Shittlin. I'm honestly surprised that you haven't gone through the same shit that Vincent has done.
Well, if he did, he would pick the right option.
Apparently he did.
Look, sometimes things work out despite
What do you think?
everything in your life proving contrary.
Turns out Chitlin was actually the lover's arcana.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Wordplay.
No.
No, but okay, but like the thing is, like even though I've got a pretty good job.
Hey!
You do.
I've got a great home life, but there are still days where I wonder what the fuck I'm doing with my life. And like I look around at like my friend from work who's you know she's married, she's got kids, and like maybe I'm missing out on that. And I don't know, man. I'm happy with where I am, but at the same time, you know, even having something you are happy with, it still has those moments of, you know, maybe I could do something differently. Maybe I should be, you know, working on something else. But
This is the real life stream. I think it's just
yeah, it is.
it's just old. It's just old men waxing philosophical.
I'm not old.
Yeah,
I'm old in
right,
heart.
Right, I forgot we have a 17-year-old on team.
Man, it sucks. I'm so old in my heart. At my old age of 15.
So,
I can't drink forever.
Haru,
So,
maybe you should take off the sweatshirt if you're getting dizzy.
Friday, actually, I have a physical scheduled, and I don't want to get too excited, but there might be butt stuff involved, and
No, there's no might.
I mean, I'm kind of sad I've gotten to that age where, like, now I'm pretty much expecting the doctor to shove something up my ass, but, you know, I guess that's growing up for you.
It could. I think it's not a might. It is a will, and I believe it's either going to be the finger or a actual ass camera, like one of those wire cameras.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna, you know, shove a snake cam up my butt unless they're actually looking for something.
I think they did that for my old man, so like there is a non-zero possibility.
Mm. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that new experience. Let me tell you.
This is interesting because I'm sorry, I'm looking at this social link, and apparently this 17-year-old girl has to make multi-million-dollar corporate decisions, and it's fucking with her sleep.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Which is interesting because the decision is if they want to make like small coffee cafes, and my first thought was, isn't that what you want to do, Haru? Oh, do they sedate you for physicals now?
I mean, I think if they're shoving a camera up your butt, they probably will sedate you.
I think I think the camera is thinner than the finger.
Yeah, but I mean, it goes way far up.
Oh yeah, good point. The idea does sound nice.
Yeah.
As for the real live stream talk, I mean, you know what my job is comprised of? I mostly just don't do anything. I have the perfect job because it both involves me doing very little, and then when I have to do something, it's very important, which is exactly what I want.
My job's been kind of sedentary as of late because our manager took a promotion and she's getting trained somewhere else, so we're currently in a situation where the person one step up is technically running the show for a while until we get a replacement manager, but until then we're kind of aimless and we're just kind of
What, they can't promote someone on the team? Why don't you try and grab that manager role?
that's a good question.
Why don't you be like, hey, I've been here for 3 years and my life is finally together at the ripe old age of 3 years past 27. I could manage this team. I've been doing that a while. And they'll say, sure thing, Hai Wang. Also, that's kind of sad.
I think the main thing is that they haven't like opened up the option to the team. I think they're looking somewhere else in the company.
Don't bother waiting for them to open it up. Go to the boss above boss and be like, hey man, I can do this. I'm very familiar with the team. It would help cohesion.
Excuse me?
Why wait for an opportunity to rise when you can make one yourself?
Admittedly, I kind of don't want the manager position because I'd rather try to get it. I kind of want to take a transfer to the fraud department because I think that shit sounds kind of cool.
Fair enough. That's an actual reason to not be looking for that position.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever thought about, like, well, I don't know if you're still, you know, stifled by your small town ways, but have you ever thought about, like, transferring out somewhere else? Like, I know you said they have places in, like, Texas.
I have debated going to Texas, but COVID hit, so that made things a little bit tricky. And B, it
screwed everything up.
And B, apartments are a little too pricey there. Like right now, I'm sitting on a nice apartment at like $700, and like apartments out there for single places are like $900 minimum for like a shitty place.
Mm.
If I were to go to Texas, I'd probably look for like a roommate. That's a pretty good perk from Haru.
You'll have to live with me, Highwang.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yes, you would.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna say this. It'd be nice to just have, like, someone to talk to, even if it is a psycho.
Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment. Damn, that's deep. I'm proud of you.
I don't mean to sound mean, I was trying to pass it off as a joke, but it did sound kind of fucked up.
It's pretty funny, to be perfectly honest.
That took courage.
Shall we return home?
My guts have increased. I mean, like, I think one of the, I think like a 2-bedroom apartment there was like, what, $1,000 split down the middle? That'd be pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
I think the main issue is, just getting out there. Because I have a whole ass apartment of shit to bring with me.
Well, you know, there's U-Haul.
Yeah.
There's pods. There's all sorts of services available to help people move. It's not an insurmountable task.
It would probably be better than...
I
It
mean,
would-
come on, Highway. I've moved more than most people, so
It would definitely be
hard.
way better than the situation I'm in, where I'm in a literal ass toxic dome. Like, have you haven't heard the story of California's weird, like, it's something, I think it's something like a temperature inversion or something, I forget what it's called. But basically, the Central Valley in California is a weird ecological system where, due to the shape of the mountains, combined with the ocean air blowing in and over the mountain, combined with the rising elements of like pollution and chemicals from farming and shit from the Central Valley, the air flies over and traps all of the pollution and chemicals in the valley. So by definition, we are breathing in toxic substances in the air.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like that show.
yeah. Salt Lake had had a similar thing, where like every summer the air quality just fucking plummeted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was called an inversion, or something like that.
Yeah, so, like, it's so bad to where, like, last year, half the school days, people had to, like, stay indoors in, if you were in grade or middle school, you had to stay indoors and there was no gym because the air quality was just too bad.
Wow.
Also, what's a buzzkill victim?
Let's get-
Fun!
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Fun is the victim of a buzzkill. I'm surprised you thought of that. I remember this one, and I thought that was really stupid.
Prayer
Makes
site. Oh, church.
Church, yeah.
There's no C here, though.
Could be temple,
It could be a shrine.
shrine,
Oh, it's a fucking shrine, because it's in Japanese.
Japan.
But yeah, honestly,
So
like,
the lunar viewing then is probably a festival if we go by that.
yeah. Also, Chitlin, like, you make a good point, because my old boss told me that I should consider moving out to Texas, because she did it, and it, like, basically rocketed her life forward.
Weird, because Texas kind of sucks.
Well, I mean, okay, so as someone who has moved around a lot,
Many,
a geographic change is not going to solve your problems.
well, but
like-
it won't solve them, but it'll open up more opportunities, because while I enjoy single living life here, there's really nothing going for me out here.
Yeah, I mean, like everything is what you make of it. Like, I mean, if you're just sitting around the house now, then,
It's COVID, so I kind of am forced.
well, I mean, I'm talking like once this eventually, hopefully one day passes. You know, maybe one day we'll actually, you know, be able to go back to the fucking beach. But
Many lack time for these.
games, no.
Yeah,
No, I think you might be right.
it might be games. You find games at a festival. And hey, I live in Texas. I think I know the place pretty well. It sucks.
The answer is festival. Tsukimi is a traditional festival for viewing the moon in the fall. There are even special terms for watching the moon during rainfall or in the noon phase. When preparing Tsukimi Dango, the proper number of stacks depends on the date. If attending Tsukimi on the 15th, stack 15 Dango. If on the 12th, stack a dozen. I have no context for this. Dango is like a type of dumpling, but I'm wondering, like,
All right.
I see.
this definitely feels...
Dumplings?
Yeah, it's...
Well, for those saying that everywhere sucks, let's talk about financial things since it's a work-based thing for High Wing. If you do that, you better keep your job, Buckaroo. Because
Yeah, right.
finding one here sucks. You know how you have things like security over there?
Oh, yeah, you mentioned this before. There's no job security in Texas.
Yeah,
And
hi. We're a $7.25 an hour minimum wage area, and it's a right-to-work state. Enjoy.
Also, the difference here is that in Texas, I don't get to keep my PTO days, and I'm sitting pretty on, like, 2 weeks right now.
Well, then use them. I'm sitting on 2 weeks as well. I get PT over here. I just haven't used any yet.
I've been looking for a reason, and that reason kind of shot the fuck down. Because I would have used 5 of them for TwitchCon, but that's just like COVID.
Yeah.
Which is even more shocking because my folks were earlier this week were like, "Yeah, we're going to Vegas," and I'm like, "Are you high?"
I mean, why not go to Vegas?
They apparently sent me photos from the wax museum, and I was very fucking confused until I realized what it was. Because I saw my folks hanging out with Snoop Dogg and Vin Diesel, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, the wax museum. Because the one photo that made me suspicious is that my old man was hanging out with Snoop Dogg, and I was like, hang on a second. There
So
is
hanging out with Vin Diesel is right in line with what you expect from your parents. But
Well, for
Snoop
my-
Dogg's a bridge too far.
Snoop Dogg with my old man, because my old man is vehemently against rap.
What shall we do?
I guess I'll get an affinity reading for Oya, because, well, I ain't got anything better to do this evening. It's a tricky situation, though.
Here we go.
Like, in the state I'm in, going to Texas would be nice, and I'm not in any risk for my job. In fact, my boss recently was, I recently had an opportunity to work on a special project, so, I'm definitely, like, getting my name through in the company.
That's good.
But, like, as Atla mentioned, job security is tricky there, and if something were to go wrong, it would be a right fucking disaster.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Though I don't know, like, Texas did kind of fucking rule while I was there.
I mean, it's just something to think about right now. Like, I mean, you're probably not going to move, you know, during this whole pandemic thing, right?
Oh,
Probably
no
not.
way.
honey.
I probably can't move in that circumstance.
I mean, definitely not to, you know, not to Texas of all places.
Yeah, which is apparently the second biggest COVID center right now compared to, oddly enough, us.
Oh, really?
I believe either California or Florida is like the top COVID one. I know Texas is
Yeah.
number 2.
I mean, the last news I've heard about was that Arizona was like the #1 hotspot in the world.
Really? It's funny because my mom, a graduated and well-experienced nurse, a medical professional, in March told me, "Oh, don't worry. Once summer hits, this virus will die and it'll be fine." And I sat there like, "Are you joking? You're a medical professional and you think heat will stop? You think summer heat will stop this?"
I mean, the problem is it also lives inside where there's AC,
Mm-hmm.
and then people pick it up and they get infected when they go outside.
Mm-hmm. 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 People didn't take a highly virulent virus seriously, and we're here now.
Yep.
And apparently, it's not just a problem in the States, because apparently, like, Germany and one other country were just like,
It's a
fuck it.
pandemic for a reason. It's across the globe, my dude.
Well, it sounded like everybody else was getting it under control, but then I started hearing Germany and France were just like, fuck masks! We're gonna exercise our right to not wear masks! I'm like, are you guys ultra dumbasses? What?
Look,
take
apparently
a seat.
anti-intellectualism is a real thing, and people are super proud about being super dumb. That's what I've learned.
I wasn't rank upping with Oya, so I'm here I am drinking whiskey with a reporter.
Well then.
Oh,
But yeah,
snow.
Snow.
Yeah, it's December in game, so now my wallpaper is snow.
Oh, great.
Anyways, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying, like the U.S. has treated this whole fucking pandemic so badly that
Yeah.
I'm honestly like so fucking jealous of other nations right now.
With
Like,
like normal healthcare systems that aren't privatized.
Yeah, and people that don't, throw a fucking bitch fit every time you ask them to put a fucking piece of cloth around their mouth. It's like,
I also hate to like deviate from the dialogue, but this particular like side quest is kind of interesting if you tangentially know something about Japan's idol industry, in that they're like Japan's idol industry is kind of fucking shitty, and there are a lot of situations. There's a lot of situations where producers will just sexually exploit the idols. And this game
That might be what we're talking about exactly.
Yeah, that's what's going on here, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, we're not gonna handle this in any elegant way, are we? But yeah, like, it's kind of a shame that if you get COVID, you're going to be financially destroyed trying to save yourself. Especially since apparently a vaccine is, like, nearing completion, and there are no stops patents, there are no talks for regulation. They're just going to set a price and forget it. And you know what that price is going to be? A fucking crime.
yeah, most likely.
It's kind of the one thing it's one of the big things I took away from college, is that the privatized healthcare system is ridiculous, in that my college was kind of biased now that I think about it, because they said that, like, in order to get the best service out of a doctor, you want to privatize it so you can, like, properly motivate them to do the right job, to do the job right and to do it perfectly. But shouldn't like fair practice laws force that, or else take the license away from the doctor?
It should, yes.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, there are lots of things laws should do.
Yeah, the one big takeaway I took from my time in like majoring in medical management of all things is that, man, our health system is fucked, and it's not really gonna. There's gonna be no easy way to fix it, just because it is so deeply rooted in the capitalist ideals. Man, I sound like a fucking. Saying that just sounded very.
God, it's like
It's so rooted in like the current economic ideal, to where if a change was suggested, doctors would send so many lobbyists just to stop it. Also, hello, Hollow. Let's finally hang out with Makoto. Go to the city, you should do it because you're helping people and not causing fucking problems. Wait, did I go to school just to go to this train station just so I could meet up with one of my friends?
Train doors are now closing.
That seems wrong. I got a feeling I'm about to get another side quest here.
Oh no.
Thank you.
I do gotta say though, going to college for medical management was actually fascinating because I got to learn about stuff like medical fraud and OSHA practices and the like, and it was genuinely interesting. I like that stuff, which would explain why I enjoy management games like Darkest Dungeon and Lobotomy Corporation.
I mean, I personally don't enjoy that stuff, but more power to you.
It's just something I've been coming to a realization to lately, in that weird. Maybe I should put myself forward for that management job, since it seems to be a easy fit for me.
Well, I mean, only you can answer that one. And I mean, management is absolutely not for everyone. Some people
Yeah.
just don't want the pressure.
Also, I don't have time crimes to help me.
Yeah.
Or, an eldritch uncle that gets me, an unending wave of people to do my work for me.
Yes.
So when's season 8 happening?
I mean, I did end season 7 in February, just before COVID hit. So maybe that's maybe season 7 was the harbinger for all this.
Did you really do 7 seasons? You can't possibly.
I don't know at this point, dude.
It seems.
I mean, I know we did at least 2.
I think we're at 5.
Oh my god.
Because the LP was the first season, then we did a second one, which was Lost to Time, then we did a third one for vampires, then we did a fourth one for shits and giggles, then we did a recent one for Colors of Madness.
Oh my
That
god.
LP is at the first episode of that LP is at 30,000 views as well. It's fucking weird.
Nice.
And yet I have still not seen a red cent from YouTube.
Or any other color scent.
Yeah.
I wonder where that saying comes from. Redson.
I believe it's due to how people do bookkeeping and accounting. Like red typically indicates like money owed, and black indicates that you're in positives.
Hmm.
Why do I know that?
Well,
Because it's part of your job.
No. Why do I know that?
I mean, being in the red or being in the black is kind of.
Oh no, I know macroeconomics. You're right. In a way, you're right, Atla. Shit.
The word economics is in it.
I know. I just had this moment of like, why do I know that? I'm some dude that plays video games for the internet for $150 every 2 months. Fun story. Do you know where the phrase "the whole 9 yards" comes from?
I do not.
I actually learned this one from Selnar. Back in World War One, I think it was. A lot of belt-fed machine guns on airplanes would be stored in the wings, and the machine gun bullet belts were 9 yards long. So the phrase "give them the whole 9 yards" basically meant empty the chamber, give it all you got.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool.
World War II. Thank you, Selnar. Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting bit of trivia.
Yeah. See, we're learning today, and playing Persona.
Yeah, and playing Persona. Playing is a loose term. We're basically being fed a story of how Makoto is.
Yeah.
Makoto just recently got a new friend, and apparently both her and the friend are being targeted by a a person who is like a host at a club and is a sexual predator. Man, this game really loves sexual predation. It's weird.
Persona 5.mp4.
Because like 3 hours in, 2 women are getting being sexually like hunted by the gym teacher of a school, which hits a little close to home for me because that actually happened at my middle school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is ironic because the teacher in question, his last name was Stalking.
Gotta love a clearly labeled villain.
It's funny because I often joke with one of my coworkers about how last names are often a naming convention of the worker caste your slot in. Granted, it doesn't really work for my last name, but with something like Stalking, you kind of... Let's see what's going on. I don't know. Drive down an impact. Either way, the gang has been pushed back into the shadows. Not sure. See, like, apparently Makoto's like one of the most popular girls in this game. And I'm just not really feeling her story because her entire social link is just basically crime drama.
That's because all the good parts of her story in the main plot.
True. Like she gets one of the best like persona awakenings, and when she's in the main plot she's kind of great. But I'm not really like I just don't really jive with her personality. She's too strung up. And oftentimes I've been told that I'm too strung up and serious, so I think it's just like I think, like, much with my friends, I just need someone that is willing to, like, just, you know, poke fun at me and help me realize, hey, man, you need to chill for a sec. Also, Guntalk has taken over chat.
Yeah, well.
It is. Yep. I mean, the phrase "the whole 9 yards" is interesting, and contextualizing it helps even more.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, I never thought to look up where that came from. It's, you know, it's just is what it is at this point. But yeah, it's a genuinely
Yes.
interesting factor.
It's just that when any gun talk like I appreciate TPR has an interesting hobby with guns and gun fabrications, but when anybody goes into gun talk, my eyes just kind of like roll back into my head, and I just kind of disassociate from reality.
Yeah, that's kind of how I handle it when, like, you guys go to, like, Warhammer or Magic Talk and
Yeah.
Duo chat. It's my eyes just sort of glaze over and I just scroll through.
I see.
I mean, granted, I'm not a gun nut either, but no one ever
That's-
talks about the stuff Chitlin's interested in.
I was actually about to ask that. Like, do you have any other hobbies beyond like video games?
Yes.
Really?
I do.
Like, you never really talk about it.
You're right.
I'd imagine wood carving is one, as I'm trying to make a fucking far-stretching joke here.
Wood carving? No.
The fucking butt cheek table we were joking around with Skippy.
Actually,
Also, I gotta take this on the side here. Congratulations, Lazy Zone. I hope it's not a Stacks deck, because if it is, you're a terrible person.
What?
Stacks is a type of deck that is basically, if you want to do anything, you have to like pay a bunch of resources and also sacrifice some stuff. And it's just not a fun thing to play, because usually
you
whenever
very
people play
much.
those decks, they don't have a way to win. So you just kind of sit there like, okay, so I can't attack you unless I pay like $50 and also kill 2 of my people. How are you gonna win? And they're like,
So what? It's just a deck to waste people's time.
Yes. Darien White Wings. Okay, I'm fine with throwing like 50 stormtroopers at me.
All right.
But yeah, what were we gonna say, Chitlin?
I was gonna say.
Oh. They call him Whitlin Shitlin. That's a good rhyme.
Yeah. Better start wood carving so I can use that.
God, I saw a really cool video recently about how it was a bit misleading because it was a video that said, I'm gonna turn 2 Russian coins into a fancy looking ring without leaving my apartment. But the dude has like high-end fabrication equipment in his apartment.
Yeah.
But still, like, watching a dude turn like what is effectively 2 quarters into a really nice looking ring was fucking fascinating. I think that's like a hole I've been diving down recently, is just watching people make stuff from nothing, and I'm genuinely jealous about that. I want to be able to create. That sounds awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, like what aspect of that would you want to get into? Like
That's
metalworking, woodworking.
I've taken woodshop and I had fun with that,
Alright
but the
then.
problem is I don't really have talent in that. Have I told you about my experiences with working a lathe?
Did you lose your shirt?
I almost lost both my eyes.
Damn.
Basically, the long and short of it was, due to being like sick for a few days, I was behind on lessons, so I had to like scramble to get a woodworking project done. And as a result, in order to get the resources, I kind of skimped on paying for like wood, and I bought a really old piece of wood that was already like configured in a way that was made for my project. But it was made of like old wood. You could tell out the gate, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll be fine. So I went to the lathe, strapped it in, and here's the important part: I didn't wear my protective eyewear.
You fool.
But I was in a hurry, and I was a dumb 15-year-old teenager who thought he couldn't be harmed. Now, tell me what happens when you introduce a high-speed spinning piece of rotting wood to a chisel.
Well, it's gonna splinter and crack off.
Mm-hmm. And it did proceed to splinter and crack in half as both pieces of debris fly inches away from both sides of my face.
Sheesh.
The moment I realized that, I made it to where I would never forget my protective eyewear again, and I just told my teacher, yeah, I'm gonna take an F on this project.
I think that's fair.
It wasn't like any reason why. I'm like, I almost went blind just now. Granted, I passed the class with a B+ even with those Fs because I failed both that project and also workplace safety. But still, like... But yeah, like, woodworking is interesting, but I kind of like need instructions in front of me, and even then, sometimes things just don't work out. Like, you remember when Homer tried to make the grill outdoors?
No.
Ah.
I'm not super versed in Simpsons.
Neither am I, but I recognize that meme by merit of cultural osmosis. Also, I've been looking at this Makoto S-Link, and I see where it's going, and I don't particularly like it, just because pretend relationships leading into actual relationships feels a little weird.
I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I kind of been fading in and out of it, but basically, Makoto has a friend who's dating a host worker, and she suspects that the host worker is sexually predating on both the friend and Makoto herself. She wants me to be around as like a fake date in order to both protect her and the friend, and it's just basically like you and Makoto going around as like cops investigating this.
So,
And I'm just go ahead.
she's basically just I'm sorry. I can't
Ah,
do this
you're
right
back.
now.
It's fine.
Just like,
She's asking for help. She's asking for help just to make sure that her friend's fine, but like but knowing how this game does writing, it's basically gonna be like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. We want to just actually be dating. And I'm like,
yeah, I mean, like this could either be just a straightforward creep deterrent, but it's not going to be.
yeah.
Searching all along, confessing while alone, without a sign, without grasping it.
Like, all these criticisms are just basically me wishing the game was a little bit better at these kind of things. Like, I don't think you were here when I mentioned it, Chitlin. But, like, getting into a relationship with someone in context of the game means functionally nothing. Only means something for, like, 3 cutscenes. Like, if you were to just do the social link again, you would basically do the same thing as you would normally and kind of waste your fucking time by getting nothing out of it. Like, no new cutscenes, no interesting dialogue. You just kind of do the same thing. And it just feels kind of like... It feels kind of, like, meaningless in a way. Wang, didn't you know that sex is the ultimate goal of a relationship? I know, right? Fucking Persona's a little bit uppity about that. Let's go ahead and pay our fortune teller to manipulate people.
I mean, in the interest of being devil's advocate,
Oh, I
that is
can't.
a
Fuck.
teenage mentality.
A very what mentality?
It's a very teenager mentality of,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah, just like, I don't really want the girlfriend part of it. I just want to have sex, and that's...
Yeah, but even then, Persona probably shouldn't be writing that.
It's like... It's a funny thing it's funny for me to say just because, like, it's said in so many other fucking, like, romantic comedies and shit. But, like... It's not even a big deal once you finally do it.
No, it's really not.
Like, once it's done and you've like gotten that weight off your shoulder, it's just like, man, I kind of want someone that like I can relate to and hang out with. Which for me and my eclectic taste is next to fucking impossible.
It's raining?
Well, I mean, what happened to that one girl you were talking about?
I don't think I don't know if I mentioned it, but like due to bad timing, she actually found someone else.
That's on you. That's not even bad
Yeah.
timing. You could have followed up on that.
Yeah, like I'm well aware that I should have followed up on that, but I just kind of sit there like, ugh, I hate myself.
Good.
Like I've been living this life for 33 years. What's some more time more?
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly not the end of the world, but it is disappointing.
It is definitely like it's not as bad as say if I were in this situation like say 10, 15 years ago, back when the nuclear family was still being pushed upon by people. Like back when people would say, why don't you have a... Like your parents would bear down and you'd say like, why don't you have a girlfriend? Why don't you have a job? Why don't you have 2.5 kids? Granted, I am part of an Asian family, so I'll often get the times of, where's my granddaughter? But like...
I don't think that's Asian family exclusive.
It feels like it because like a lot of people I hang out with, they're like a lot of my peers in the Asian community say the same exact thing. Let's see, what am I... Wrong button.
I had a friend back when I lived in Utah. Basically, tell me I was wasting my time because I didn't have kids yet. And I was, in my 30s.
That is
But-
bullshit. But I can
Yeah.
tell you why that's bullshit.
Well, the thing is, like, since the COVID shit's been happening, she's been posting like a lot of nonstop Facebook memes. Like, I can't believe school's canceled. What am I supposed to do with my kids? It's like, bitch.
I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I saw that too, and I was just sitting there like, you could be a parent.
Yeah, do these people not want their kids around? Is that what I'm getting here?
I think they're so
What
used to
shall
the
we
fact
do?
that they would be able to offload their kids like for half the day.
Yeah, but I was kind of laughing at that. Like, guess whose house is nice and quiet?
I know, right? But like, I think like if I had to hazard a guess as to why you're being pushed at, I think it's just like the innate like human mindset of reproduce, ensure like the continuation of you. But like that should
You got
only
enough
be
people. I don't need to do that shit.
But like that should be like an internal instinct. That shouldn't be something you push on others. Like this isn't like Japan where like declining birth rates is a genuine problem. In fact, America's the exact
Here we
opposite.
go.
Yeah, you got too many damn kids.
In fact, my hometown is a city that's like the second highest teenage birth rate in America, period. Which is fucking terrifying.
That's gross. Yeah, see, while I understand that my spawn would have amazing abilities because of the fact that I have those, and not have a terrible childhood and upbringing to dole those down, I also believe that we have too many people already, and no child is the best child.
I often wonder what it would be like if I had a kid. I don't know how I could process that.
Probably wouldn't be streaming this.
I don't know, man. Slow Beef has 2 kids and he's still streaming. Like he's finished.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he has a wife.
That's
Like-
a fair
like-
point.
I mean, I don't know how Slow Beef has time in between his job, his wife, his 2 kids, and
Well, here-
streaming.
Here's the thing. He has a successful stream where people donate him money. So you know what he's doing? He's preparing that college fund.
Ah, yeah, gotcha.
Like the moment when I heard that he had a kid and he started streaming more, I was sitting there like, I think I get what you're getting at, dude.
Yeah, he's staring down the barrel of tuition. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's planning ahead, which makes sense because didn't he get his like degree in economics?
I don't know what his deal is, honestly. I mean, I know he did LPs and he's married with 2 kids. That's about all I know about Sloopy's personal life.
Yeah. Still, that's smart. In my situation, if I were under the same circumstances, I probably would stop streaming because this is not enough of a revenue to do that. In fact, all this really does for me is pay for the electric bills once every 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just like a for fun hobby, then
Yeah. Like, this is not a job.
no. Not until you get to like actual sustainable revenue. That's,
Like the moment this starts becoming monthly revenue, that's when I start like thinking about like if I could get this to pay the electricity bill every month, then I start thinking, you know, I could make this a moneymaker. Also, let's finish out Futaba's social link and see if after like 10
I'm
years
going
of
to go
being
take a look around by myself.
shut-in, she could
Probably
handle
not back
society
in
on
half
her
an
own.
hour. Just stay here and wait for me to come back. Kinda
It is a
nice, but here I
shame
go.
that Futaba
Time to
is in
make
this
a treat.
weird situation because I actually really like her design. I dig the visuals, but also it's just weird.
I don't know what's going on with her jacket.
It's one of those jackets with like the poofy hoodie. She just kind of wears it on her shoulders for some reason.
Sorry. I
What
totally
bugs me
forgot
is
to
her
check the
headphones,
time.
because I am genuinely surprised they have not fallen
I was
off.
having fun. Guess that means I beat my mission, huh?
Oh, good. She
You
had a
know,
fun day.
it was the same Akihabara
Yeah,
as before.
like
but
it sounds so
everything looked
mundane, but that's
different to me
kind
this
of
time.
why this is
It's not
nice.
just
Is that
here,
she
though.
can finally enjoy
My
mundane
whole world
things.
is expanding.
Yeah, it's nice.
Every
and
day
wholesome.
brings new and different
It's
discoveries.
hateful.
The direction of
Like,
Sojiro's cowlick, The atmosphere of
In this
Yongen,
game
the
full of
various types
perversion.
coffee beans.
Yeah.
In this game
Things
where
might
like
be
every
the exact
female
same
seems
as
to
they
be
were
stuck in
yesterday,
a weird
but from my
sexual
perspective,
predator
it's all
scenario,
spinning.
Futaba can have
I
a
knew it
normal
was
life,
possible,
and that's
But I had never really felt
That's
that
kinda
sensation
nice.
before now. I just
It's
hope I can keep
it's
changing
like,
little by
sometimes
little,
you just want
like
nice
everyone else
things.
does.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it at my own pace. Oh, by the way, I got a text from Kana-chan saying she got a job at a convenience store. It sounds like she's
It's always
just
so
happy
weird
be
to me to
living
hear
life
that
like a
people
normal
in like their
teenager.
second year of high school
Plus,
are getting
she got
jobs
study
in
guides with the money
Japan.
she made. She's gonna take the high school entrance exam.
Like,
Even Kana-chan's trying to step out
It's
into the world.
I don't think 15 to 16-year-old is like that right mental maturity for responsibility like that.
I mean, you know,
Yep,
most-
she's my new
well,
rival.
I'm not gonna say
Hey,
most
you
people.
said you'd give me a reward.
But when
if
I was
completed
growing
my
up,
promise list.
then you know,
Remember?
people could get part-time jobs at 16 years old. It's just kind of limited what you could get.
You the man.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking in a bunch of stores thinking about what to buy, but it felt kind of weird.
Oh my god,
There
we're
were
gonna have
plenty
to buy a
of things I
fucking
wanted,
high-end
but
laptop
it
for
was all
Futaba,
stuff
aren't
I
we?
could get if
Oh
I worked really
no.
hard. And after all, I already have something I wouldn't have been able to get on my own. You don't think so? No, you're forgetting. You gave me something really important. You gave me my life back. It's thanks to you that I learned I'm fine just as I am. And that I learned to trust my mom again. I was as good as dead.
I said it before and
You
I'll say it
resurrected
again.
me.
Like, this game's
I want
story
to
is
use
at
my
its
work
best
with
when
the
it's
Phantom
like
Thieves
just
to return you the favor.
you,
But when I
Sojiro, and
remember all the
Futaba.
friends I've made,
Because
it's like I'm
weirdly
tapping into
enough,
some kind
even
of
though it's like this
unknown
weird
power.
like found family scenario, it fits really well. Like it's such a weird situation where oh, what is this? Oh right, I forgot.
I am thou.
If you ever
I-
if you ever max
Thou
out a
hast
team member's
turned
social link,
thou
something
into a
unique happens.
Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break
Yeah,
the
we make
yoke of
jokes
thy heart.
like we were at a point where we were
Thou
getting like a
hast
max social
awakened the
link a
ultimate
day,
secret of the
and I
hermit,
realized that one of the
granting
lines
thee
is like,
infinite
"You have made a
power."
blood oath with someone," and I found that shit fucking hilarious. I have made a blood oath with my little sister. Chance to nullify a fatal attack on a. Ooh, oh, that's nice.
That'd be really good, yeah.
Also, the other thing is when you max out a social link of a party member, their persona changes,
All right.
which really doesn't matter much for Haru, I think, or not Haru, for Futaba.
right.
I think I know who Ungyoki is. What's this UFO gonna become? Oh, it's Ozma from Final Fantasy IX.
My heart just leveled up. A new me rises from the ashes.
Oh no, wait, that thing has a
All right.
smiley face. Prometheus, hello?
What?
Oh, Prometheus, the guy who stole fire from the gods.
It makes sense now.
I feel like that should be in reverse. I feel like Prometheus should have been the initial one, and Necronomicon could have been the evolved one.
What's Necronomicon have to do with this?
Nothing, but all of the characters' personas are based around the concept of
You
a
gave me
thief.
my life back. So
Like
it's my turn to risk
our
my
starting
life for
persona
you.
was Arsene
Feel free to tell me
Lupin.
anything. I'll do whatever I
Among
can
them
to
we
help.
have
I'm
the
serious, okay?
female musketeer. We have a woman who managed to steal popedom. We also have a pirate. We have what's another one? We have Zorro. Basically, a lot of the persona are themed around individuals that are focused around freedom, liberation, and were a notable like thief character.
Okay.
I never got why Necronomicon was a quote-unquote thief, but
it's not
Prometheus makes way more sense.
Because H.P. Lovecraft stole his work from other people.
See, if the persona was H.P. Lovecraft, I'd believe that. But that'd be even a weirder like can of worms.
Leave it to me. And heart go unclaimed. So, let me see. How about a month's supply
I
of
am
instant
going to
yakisoba?
drop call,
Pretty
but
good
I'll still
deal,
be in
huh?
chat.
I don't
All right,
wanna order
see you
off
later,
the
dude.
net, though. Let's go look for it in the real world. Now I know how much fun walking around can be.
I don't know how to feel about buying someone a month's worth of yakisoba. That sounds dangerously unhealthy.
What?
Yakisoba is basically like instant noodles, like imagine cup ramen, but as more of like a spaghetti dish.
Ah, okay.
Treasure script. Find out if a foe's carrying a rare item ahead of time.
Doesn't sound super useful.
Nah, but I dig this persona design, honestly. Just because I like the goofy smiley face, and just being a black void ball is kind of awesome.
I feel like I've seen a design like this before, but I cannot remember where.
A lot of hackers in anime will often have the grinning smiley face design.
No, I was talking about the neon lines across a.
Oh, have you ever played Okami?
No, but I watched you play it. That might be what I'm remembering.
Yeah, I believe it was Susanoo? It was either Susanoo or Yamada no Orochi. Oh, Yomi from Okami. Yes, that's it. The final boss was basically a big neon orb.
That's probably what I was thinking of.
Been searching all along. Been facing while alone.
It's funny because Yamada no Orochi and I believe Yami is also in this game. Because they're mythological figures.
The real question to be asked, where have I
These little story segments are always so weird because, as I mentioned, the game never expects you to beat the dungeon in one run. So you'll have segments like this that'll appear where they're speculating what's going to happen, but like we know what's going to happen. We've completed the mission.
Yeah.
was don't take off my mask. Reveal
But that's kind of the problem with this game's story model. When you're in a situation where you could do something effortlessly within a massive time limit, you have a lot of free time to watch the writing kind of fall apart at the seams. Let's go hang around with let's go hang around with the gun dude. The man who is just straight up Kazuma Kiryu, but in this game.
Oh, it's freezing.
Static electricity is the enemy of detailed work. Well, I'd probably be like a fucking nefarious person to hang around with because I generate so much fucking static electricity.
Gotta stop dragging your feet, man.
I don't, though. I don't know what it is, but like... I'll get out of my car, I'll generate a static electricity bolt so strong I could see it. Like, I'll sit around in my chair for a couple minutes, stand up, go somewhere, touch something metal, shock myself. I'll rub my hair and feel the static electricity from my fingers generated by my hair. I'll wake up in the morning, drag the sheets off my face, I'll hear the static from my hair being generated on the blanket. I'm a weird fucking static elemental.
You could probably work this into a cool supervillain routine.
Does it have to be a supervillain?
I mean, do you really want to be a hero?
I'd rather do something positive than negative.
Well, I mean, but there's money in being evil.
Good.
Don't you like money?
Yeah, but not enough to, like, push my moral compass in that direction. You should know this from fucking the Catherine streams, Chitlin. I'm an absolute law boy. Is Wang the white... See, that was what was going through my mind. Am I the white guy static shock? And if so, that's just terrible. Oh, this is interesting. So I haven't done this social link much, but basically, we hang out with a gun store owner, and he's an ex-Yakuza member that quit the business in order to help raise a orphan kid. So we're basically watching this guy struggle to be a dad, struggle to be like a functioning dad because he is a crime boy first. Also, I'm pretty sure that this kid is older than me. What were you gonna say, Chitlin?
So he's literally Kazuma Kiryu.
Yeah, exactly. Like, his story was just straight up said this woman came into my office, dropped the baby on my desk, and ran like a fucking devil. And then I had to raise this kid, and I just eventually became to realize, man, I just want to see this kid be successful and not be a Yakuza. So he quit the Yakuza, and the Yakuza's like, you get back in this system right now, motherfucker. I don't care if you want to be a dad.
And then he hits someone with a bench.
I could see this guy doing that.
Yeah.
Also, I say that he's a gun shop owner, but it's basically airsoft guns because you can't have guns in Japan.
Yep. That is like one thing I know about Japan. It is super fucking illegal to have any sort of firearm.
But airsofts are rad. I think that's because of that law that the airsoft hobby has like taken off like fire in Japan. Like it's basically like something for it promotes a gun culture that is quote unquote safe and healthy.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Like I never thought. Like I've never knew anything about airsoft guns, but after seeing like someone on seeing someone I follow on Twitter like bring it up, I'm like, man, they're when people get into this, they're super into it.
Yeah, I've never gotten into airsoft or anything like that. The only thing the only gun-related stuff I've done is I've gone hunting once, which was terrible.
I was gonna say, how did that turn out?
It's not fun. It's just sitting in the woods. Like who cares? Who gives a shit? But I've played paintball a few times. That's pretty much it.
Was paintball any fun? Because that was like that was a bit of a thing I was interested in back when I was a teenager, but apparently it's like super fucking painful.
It's painful if someone shoots you point blank with a paintball. Yeah. Like usually if you're shooting from range and you get hits, it's not bad at all. But we were, teenagers, so we shot ourselves point blank.
Yeah, I think the main reason why I didn't do those is because back in the day I used to have like terrible asthma, so I couldn't keep up with the physical aspect of it just running around.
Yeah.
Also, this social link is so weird in that EY prefers to hang out with someone that is like very straightforward and doesn't joke around.
Sorry.
And yet a lot of the options you give are very fucking jokey things, so it's very easy to know what to say with him. Basically, if you want to hang out with EY, don't be an asshole. It's so weird because after I got out of high school, my asthma kind of went away. So it's been easy to like get into stuff like running and physical training. So I'm just kind of wondering how that happened.
I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Could have been allergic to school. That's a good answer.
Probably. Especially given with how terrible our air quality is. See, I kind of like stuff like this where they do the crime drama thing with actual people involved in it. But it also just makes me wish it would, like, this story was just, you know, adults with actual problems. That way they could do stuff like put stakes with the crime drama scenario to where someone could have the direct risk of getting shot and dead because of our decisions. Here it's just, I'm a high schooler and I just want this guy to be impressed with me.
All right.
Asthma could go to a certain degree, for some people it doesn't. I know I do wheeze occasionally in like the mornings, but I eventually get over that. I think it's mainly because cold temperatures are, I think it's mainly because of that happens during the cold season. And I have a bad habit of throwing my blanket off when I sleep. But outside of that, like, I don't think I've ever had a scenario where I overworked myself to an asthma attack.
Later.
I did have an episode when I was hanging out with a friend and his cat was nearby because I'm allergic to cats. And I don't think his cat was hypoallergenic, so that triggered something, but I kind of powered through that. Thinking back, I think that might be why I'm a dog person.
I mean, cats are just terrible creatures in general.
A lot of people disagree.
A
And
lot of
there's this,
people are wrong.
and there's this really neat like cat that just hangs around the apartment here that I oftentimes just, you know, hang out with. But like I could never have a cat for an extended period because of this because of that allergy. Also, an interesting thing about the story, I always thought that tattoo was his, like, Yakuza symbol. Apparently it's not, which was kind of neat.
Just looks like a lizard.
Yeah, during that social link, the teenager mentioned that, when he was a kid, he had, like, a scar on his neck, and he would often be made fun of it for it, because fucking grade school kids are terrible. So in response, Dad here got a tattoo in a similar shape, that way his kid could feel confident about it.
Yeah, that's a good
Which-
dad.
I was gonna say, that's kind of metal to be like, yo, stab me in the neck like 1,000 times for this tattoo just so I can make my son feel good.
Yeah, I'm on board with Gun Dad.
EY is a very good character. Like, I haven't done much with him because I've had other more pressing matters, but that's a very good story just because, A, it's super inspired, but B, it's fun to see. As I mentioned before, it's fun to see just people like this doing normal things and having normal problems.
I feel like that's what the game should have been more about, instead of all the sexual assault stuff.
Yeah, like for the side content, I'd like if it was just, you know, helping someone like deal with normal circumstances, because you have enough of stuff with like sexual predation, blackmail, crime, human trafficking, murder, like industrial espionage. You have enough of that stuff in the main story. I don't need that in my side story as well.
Yeah.
Like one of the cool things about it was I don't think you've seen any of Sojiro's story, the coffee dad. The long and
I
Go ahead.
don't think so.
The long and short story about the story with Coffee Dad is that basically you realize that he used to date the redhead's mom before she died, and since the redhead was orphaned, he adopted her, and he always struggled with the fact that whether or not he was her parent. And the entire story is basically you discussing with him, like talking with him and helping him realize that, yeah, he is an actual ass dad. Along with that, though, the redheaded daughter's uncle is constantly blackmailing Coffee Dad for money because of the fact that he has a successful business and he's raising the kid. He just blackmails him for money because, like, this is my family. You should be helping out the family, not just her, etc., etc. So, being a nasty crime boy and having the ability to straight up like brainjack people, you go infiltrate his mind and make him stop being a piece of shit. But the problem is you do it a bit too late, and he sends blackmail information to Child Protective Services.
Oh, great.
But once you finish the brain jack, Sojiro did his homework. And he was fully capable of talking to Child Protective Services and saying, yes, I have adopted this girl since I was 5. I've done everything possible to help her out. And the whole time it's basically realizing, like, we didn't need to help Coffee Dad at all in our nasty crime boy ways. He was perfectly capable of doing that. He just needed someone to talk to and realize, yeah, he's a perfectly good father. And it's kind of nice to see, like, there are situations where we don't have to do this.
Yeah, like, I mean, I kind of feel like that's what the game needs more of, is just stuff, just lower stakes stuff. Stuff that teenagers would actually deal with, you know?
Yeah, I think the mainly reason they do that is because this is aimed towards a audience of, like, say, 15 to 21-year-olds, where a person of that age who is, like, slowly learning to come to terms with their identity, they kind of want that power fantasy to feel empowered, you know, to build up that confidence. It's not a game built for us. That is most assuredly the case.
Very clearly not for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I can see why they would do something like that, but I do agree that this game's writing is at 100% best when it is the mundane things. Like, what's another good example? I'm trying to run through the social links and figure something out here. Actually, I could do that by this menu. Sojiro and Ryuji. Goro Kechi. God, I hated the Goro Kechi one. Actually, I should reprise that. So, this social link right here, Goro Kechi. Throughout the plot, when you do the social links, he is a investigator looking into the Phantom Thieves because they are a weird criminal element that the cops are trying to figure out. He is an ace detective, and throughout this whole time he suspects you, but you can do social links with him to hang out with him and figure out who he is. And the whole time he's just fucking owning you and schooling you. He does. Anytime you hang out, it's basically him one-upping you and showing you that you are, like, not hot shit, and he is that. But then the game kind of, and the whole time I hated that, like, I genuinely hated that. But then the game kind of turned something on its head, where it turns out he was actually the villain of this game. He was directly the murderer, and it was because of the circumstances he found himself in. He was, like, abandoned as a kid. He didn't have, like, a functioning social structure growing up. And because of that, he kind of had a fucked up mental mindset, which kind of turned him into a murderer. And weirdly enough, when you put away that fake personality of, like, #1 detective and, like, I'm the best at everything, and when you realize that he was just, like, a fucked up kid that didn't have a opportunity, I actually felt really bad for him. To where, like, I kind of realized, oh, so that was what the entire social link was building up to. Realizing that he was putting on a front so that you would like him. And I'm like, shit, dude. That was actually pretty good. He's still kind of an asshole because he murdered a bunch of people, and like 2 of them were parents of our team members. But it was a really well done way to introduce a sympathetic villain. But, like, another good one was this one where she was in a weird situation. Like, it's kind of an outlandish situation that she was a country gal that came to the big city and got wrapped up in cult activity. And the entire social link was basically us helping her get around the fact that life is not deterministic and you can change fate. And as a result of us interfering with that, she builds up the confidence to help actually shatter this cult. So we don't actually do that, but we help her build up the confidence to do so. But it comes at the cost of us losing $1,000 to her. We get that back. Like, she felt guilty about that and she gives the money back. But at the beginning, it was just like, oh, what the fuck? Come on. But I did like her story a lot, and I thought it was really well done. This one I'm kind of not a huge fan of. The teacher situation was... when she was starting out as a teacher, she was a very impassioned teacher, and she would often try to times help the students who were always, you know, misunderstood. The students that were bullies by merit of they had a shitty social life. And one student was actually dependent on her for that because she became like a good moral compass for him. And then the kid gets in a car wreck. Unfortunately, the parents were shitty people and actively blackmailed this teacher. And the only way for her to get out of that situation was for us to brainjack the parents and make them realize they were shitty parents for blackmailing a teacher that was just trying to help. That is a story I wish was a lot better.
Yeah, that seems just kind of...
Because I could actually, in a weird way, I did substitute teaching for 3 years, and I could empathize with the ambition of being a teacher that cares for their students. But boy, was that story handled, like, inelegantly. This one is kind of wild because, this kid is like a prodigy in terms of like hand-eye coordination. He's very good with like gun games and projectile weaponry, and we've actually had to train with him in order to be better with gun. But we come to realize that he has a very distorted worldview, and the idea of like he was taught that like the strong should rule and you shouldn't be weak. Being weak is like the worst thing you could do. And we basically help him come to terms with the fact that his mother is an incredibly shit person, and that he shouldn't like be a bully in the way that he was, and just by being like a brother figure to him. But now we're in a situation to where his mother is attacking us with legation, and we have to brainjack him. But it's not to like help the kid get over his problems. It's purely for us. We helped this kid by merit of being a good big brother, and I thought that was kind of cool. But the game has to like strong arm that situation in there.
Well, I mean, you could have all the nice realistic-ish scenarios you want, but you also have to have a video game happen at some point, I guess.
Yeah. This one is this is one that I also really like because it's another situation where we didn't have to do anything supernatural at all. Basically, the entire social link for this was this guy had fucked up real bad, and he did some money laundering during one of his campaigns to the point where it was so infamous he had a line of infamy behind him, and it shattered his confidence to where he thought he couldn't campaign properly at all, even though he was still trying. And throughout the campaign, we basically would help him out with his campaign. We would help him with, garnering attention and the like. And the whole entire story arc is basically helping him get his confidence back to where he could stand on his own as a politician.
Okay.
And the best part is that he solves his own shit. Like he has a bunch of people from his past come up and say, "Hey man, I can help you out with your campaign. Like, it's a give and take. You'll work for me and I'll help you on this campaign. And I'll help you get rid of that shitty nickname of yours." And throughout the whole time, he's just basically like, nah, I'm not gonna surrender my ideals just because I want to get in the campaign. There is no point running a campaign for an election if you're not gonna be genuine and honest about your ambitions. And if it means having to own my horrible past, I'm gonna do it. And we didn't have to do a single thing about that. All we had to do was just sit there and help him, like, push through that mind block of, like, yeah, you are a no good person, but you can repair that relationship with the people just by talking to them. And he was just like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna run for senator now. Let's do this. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
let's fucking go, man.
Yeah, so he basically just says, like, I appreciate all your support, but I'm not gonna side with any of you guys. Like, there's no point in surrendering my ideals for a chance at glory. And also, I believe he's one of the first... I think he discovers that you're one of the Phantom Thieves way earlier than everybody else. Because, like, he's a politician. He could, like, see this shit.
He's used to lies.
Yeah, he calls you out, like, a full rank earlier. So it's kind of funny. I was just sitting there, like... He's sitting there, like... I don't get why you've been helping me out. Aren't you the Phantom Thieves? And the whole time he's like, yeah, you are. How did any of this shit happen? It has to be you. And he just goes, I mean, it's cool and all. I'm not gonna oust you. Like,
I'm
I don't
dark.
Like, I don't care what the news says. I've hung out with you. You're a good kid. It was just like, I hope all the time I spent doing this, hang out with this will help you in your future. Because, like, I know you were just hanging out with me for your own ambitions, but still, it was nice hanging out with you. And then you get your rank 10 to where you can straight up just hire demons that are, you can just, like, hire persona that are way beyond your level grade. Basically, the characterization in this game is wonderful. It's a shame that the main plot is dog shit. And we were talking about that for like 20 minutes. What? What was I doing?
Well, I'm glad I got here when you were done with it.
Yeah, what's up, Dorbo?
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, that's good to hear, dude.
Yeah. Look, I'm just happy I have power.
Oh god, that's right. You were you were like in a blackout for over 24 hours, weren't you?
It is 26 hours, yeah.
What happened?
He got hit by the tornado that was going around.
It wasn't the tornado, it was a tropical storm moving up the coast, and some power lines got knocked out near me.
Oh wow, that's already reached you? Huh.
Hey!
I didn't think it was moving that fast.
Haru, surrender to me your tomatoes.
But, you know, then again, I stopped following the hurricane once it passed us, so...
It is kind of wild that a hurricane is the most mundane thing that has happened this year. Like, I thought, like, when August came around, August 1st came around, I was like, oh, what's the fucking disaster going to be this month? And then I heard, like, the hurricane going around, I was like, oh, it's just a hurricane. It's hurricane season this kind of year. That shouldn't be bad. Then the day afterwards, the port explosion out in, where was it? It was
Beirut.
like... Yeah, that port explosion occurred, and I was like, ah, there it is. The tornado was just a false front by fate.
Just throw you off guard.
This is such a weird social link in that Haru also provides a very good service of growing vegetables that are dungeon supplies. So it's basically like, hey Haru, let's go plant some tomatoes. Also, you want to hang out? Also, the only fucking thing I'm gonna get is the sun tomato, because, like, goddamn, 100 SV to everyone is amazing.
Hey! Thank you!
Yeah, like, the explosion itself was caused by some, admittedly criminal negligence. But that's not the explosion itself is not the big issue. It's what's gonna happen afterwards. Because that entire area is fucked.
The explosion is the big issue, actually. Now, the cause of the fuck.
Yeah, that's what I should say. Thank you.
This power problem is that was their biggest port.
Yes.
Haru's story is interesting just because it's so outlandish, but still something that is something you could empathize with. Because, like, you can empathize with someone having to deal with a with a problem way outside of their skill range. But it's kind of hard to believe that this person has to deal with CEO issues when they are a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I forgot to pay the Chihaya tax, god damn it. The beans.
Yeah, I was gonna say the soil, but okay.
Oh, it is the soil. Shit. Would you date Haru? Honestly, yes.
There was something there.
Nah, I like Haru. Like she has a very funny and dark sense of humor, and just is a enjoyable person to be around.
I should say, yeah, her social link is a lot better than her actual plot stuff.
Yeah, like in the main plot she was just kind of put in the background, but like when you get to know her, she's actually a fun person to be around.
Sure, she's a redhead, chat. She's
Nah, she's a brunette. She's a brunette.
Yeah.
You're mainly seeing that.
Just
Go
the
ahead.
lighting area.
Yeah, the lighting and the like complement of the red tracksuit makes it misleading.
I want to floof the hair.
It's funny because when I started this game, I thought I was gonna wind up dating Haru, and then I met Fifumi, and I was just like, "Oh man, you're kind of great." And then I started hanging out with Haru, and I was like, you know, maybe my first assumption was right.
Wow. Maybe you suck at this choice thing.
Maybe I do. Maybe Catherine's like lesson is rippling out way farther than I thought it had.
Be an indecisive son of a bitch?
Yes. I tried to be decisive, and it turned out that was a bad idea.
You could always go the harem route.
Nah.
Just one small step away from actually being innocent, as I feel I went.
I'm not surprised.
Yes!
I think Shrike said it best in that you had the culmination of the relationship, and that's it. And in the writer's mind, the culmination of a relationship is the boning.
Yeah, you did the dirty, now it's over.
Yep. Once you lay some pipe, then the job's finished.
Which I'm gonna let you know right now, that is a gross fucking trap. There are 2 situations that actually check how many people you're dating in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's Christmas.
One of which is the Valentine's event.
Yeah, it's Christmas and Valentine's, I believe. And I was spoiled on the Valentine's one because the moment somebody discovered it, it appeared on every avenue ever. That is the weird thing about gaming news these days, is that if something's funny, it is functionally impossible to not be spoiled by it. Because if you can meme it, it's gonna go everywhere.
See, I never actually got spoiled on that, of all things.
Really? Huh.
Nope. That said, the fucking Valentine's event in 4 is tragic.
I don't remember the Valentine's event in 4.
At least 4 Golden is what I saw, but they really, really rub it in that you're cheating on all these girls at the same time.
Ah, they do that here too. Except here, you get fucking owned for life.
Also, yeah, in Persona 3, you don't have a choice. If you're gonna finish a social link, you have to fuck them.
That seems a little fucked up.
Yeah, 4 added the choice.
It's funny, Torpo. I mentioned it earlier in the stream, but you were not here to mention it. I was talking with a friend, and she mentioned that she was planning on replaying the game, but she probably wasn't gonna like date anybody. And I kind of sat there and like, you know, that's kind of good actually, because this game's writing in regards to relationships is really bad.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible.
Like, it's not even codependence; it's just dependence.
Mm-hmm. True, in Persona 3 Portable, you can date a 10-year-old.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ugh,
Yep.
what? The fuck is wrong with you?
I could say a lot of good things about Persona 3 Portable, but that is one of those things I will
Alright.
never defend.
I mean, you really can't defend it.
You can't! No!
No, that's literally indefensible.
Yeah!
Like, do you bow down with a 10-year-old?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Bye.
Okay, that's
That-
fair.
It's kind of one of those things where I see everybody talk about like how Persona is this really well written game and how the social aspect is one of the best things that come to gaming. I'm like, did we play the same game? Because like, granted, the writing is good, but you also have stuff like dating a 10-year-old, dating your teacher, dating your doctor.
Or
A lot
the
of
toddler doms.
There's a lot of situations that make you go, what does the writer actually think a relationship is?
Okay, so numbers says you just date, so that's less bad, but still terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget that also in this you can date an alcoholic.
You could date a functional alcoholic who blackmails you into posing as a relationship with her. You basically get blackmailed into being assumed in a weird underage relationship with an adult. Oya is a terrible person.
That's it. Arrowman brings up the good response, though, that you have to the teacher. It's the only good thing about that entire thing, which is, sure you really want to date your teacher? And just one of the responses you can put is, that makes it better. For some godforsaken reason, they felt the need to put that.
That was definitely a thing catered for the audience in question, the audience that has no idea what an actual relationship is like.
Also, how creepy it is having a teacher date a student
Yeah.
who is a teen.
That has happened in my middle school as well. That place was fucking weird.
Ah, that's right. The line is, that's the best part.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Facing while alone. Without a sign.
The one with the relationship with the doctor is the funniest one to me because like it just seems so mundane like the rest of her relationship. But then it's just like she just says like meet me in the back room and you're just kind of sitting there and it just kind of like all it does is like she walks in, closes the room, locks the door behind her, and then it's just cut to black.
Afraid for you to drown.
I'm like, that's a really good way to allude to something even though it's weird.
Please don't take off my mask.
Oh, I say Kamakami's more like your mom. I disagree.
She's your teacher.
And the maid thing makes it really fucking odd. Guess I'm gonna hang out with Oya and see what this is about.
Oh, honey.
I really don't think there's a mother figure in this game, but then again, there hasn't really been one in any of the High School Simulator ones. At least none that I could think of. Because, like, I know in P4 you had the father figure, much like in this game. I don't know if P3 had a father figure, though. And yes, you do technically have parents in these games, they're just terrible people.
I mean, in 3 you live at the dorms, so it's not that weird.
Yeah, in P4, your parents just decide to go on vacation and dump you with your cop uncle. In P5, you get accused of a crime, and your parents, instead of trying to defend you to the very end, like parents should do,
Just offload you.
you get offloaded to your coffee uncle like the instant something went wrong. Terrible thought here. What if Oya's the mother figure? No, Oya is not the mother figure. I can tell you that right now.
I know, she more reminds me of my grandma.
She reminds me of Who's the drunk in The Simpsons?
Oh,
Well then,
Carl or something? No, that's Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I don't remember his name. I know
Barney.
you're Barney. That's it. I was thinking Lenny, but that's the other guy.
Yeah, like, I get vibes of Barney here because she just, like, drinks herself into a stupor and complains about her job. God, I just had a thought right now of sitting here thinking, this cutscene's gonna run, I'm gonna go get a drink. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I can't hear. But do I even care?
No.
Okay. See, this is another situation where it's weird that the social links have no synergy with the main plot. Because Oya's sitting here saying that the Phantom Thieves might be the real deal, even though 4 days ago we hacked the entire Japanese information network to just say, "Hi, we're the Phantom Thieves. We're going to brainwash you, Senator." So, like, how could you not believe that the Phantom Thieves are not the real deal when that just happened? That, granted, it is impossible to do something like this and have a functioning main plot that work hand in hand, but you can't help but notice the poor, like, welding on the work here.
I mean, it's not impossible. It would just be an incredible amount of writing work to weave all of these scenarios in and out of each other like that.
Yeah, and it'd be a lot of if-then checks, like, as quoted by our great developer, Yandere Dev.
I don't know who that is.
You know, it's for the best.
You know what?
It's
I'm
for
okay.
the best, but the joke I'm referencing here is that a dude who had worked on a project for like multiple years had his code released recently, and it was something along the lines of tens of thousands of if-then checks for a video game. That is the joke I will always reference because it's so funny to me. But yeah, you're all right, Shitlin, in that it would require an exorbitant amount of writing, like at least triple the amount of writing to check the amount of circumstances here.
At the very least, like given all of the social links I saw, you'd have to write something depending on where you are in that social link, where you are in the main quest, and yeah,
It is interesting though because this game has been in development for a long time. I don't know the exact.
It was
length.
about 10 years.
Really? Has it been that long?
Think? No, it's less than that actually.
I'd say more like 6
My
or
brain
7.
is.
Let's say 6 or 7. Basically triple the length of a typical like game development cycle. It has gone through. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you the exact numbers in 1 second. I was wrong. It was 8 years.
8 years. So yeah, this game has been in development for 8 years, primarily because they scrapped the plot twice.
I forgot that Persona 4 was an incredibly late addition to the PS2.
Yeah, but like
And that it came out in 2008.
This game has been in development for 8 years, Shitlin, so they've scrapped the plot twice, which is part of the reason why some of the stories feel a little bad or odd or peculiar. Because
Or just really forced.
Because one of the big issues is that they've had to scrap this plot twice, and one of the plots was this game was supposed to be a globetrotting adventure. So a lot of the plots that were meant to be more of a say a plot that would make more sense in say America or Germany or Egypt or France, like some of the stuff that you feel like would be in a more different area get shoved back in Japan. So it's people trying to salvage plots as well, which is another odd thing about this game. And granted, what they got out of it was not bad, but you could tell where the boat was repaired.
yeah, like if they pretty much started over twice, then the game was not in development for 8 years.
Yeah.
Like they probably. I'd be surprised if they had like 3 years of solid development on this game.
It is a shame, really, because I would have liked to have seen a globe-trotting adventure.
Oh yeah, totally. But it's probably a bit too ambitious for.
Yeah, I think it would break the social link system over its knee, just because, say, like, I could identify 4 very specific points in this game that were going to be the locations across the globe. Japan would be the primary one. Then you have... Sorry?
The Grove.
Yep. Yeah, China is the primary one. Then you had, America, Egypt, and I believe there was a European setup as well. And each time we would have to go to, like, a new country, you would be deprived of, like, a majority of your social links. And even then, you would also be fit in a situation where you would start a social link in, say, Egypt, and then have it break as you leave. So I can see why they'd abandoned that.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to do it if they like sectioned everything off by chapter. So like, you know, you just leave Japan for a while and go to Egypt, and then you have your Egypt social links.
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe the next chapter you go back to Japan, or you go back to, or you go to that small place called America. And,
And it would also help. I could see them keeping the social link if they made if they reduced some of the options you have, but B also leave some of them at 5.
Stop messing around.
Say make the Egypt social links just 5 ranks.
Or if you were returning, you could use it as an excuse for time skips.
Or even better, have it be 10 ranks. But you would initially be capped at 5, but if you get to that 5 while you're in Egypt, they find a reason to follow you to Japan, and then you could explore a deeper relationship.
That's an idea.
And then you pump and dump, and it's over.
Yeah, given the writing of this game, that would be exactly it. I think it'd be...
For you. Yeah, I'm done with you.
It'd be an interesting situation, though, because, that is certainly a thing that happens. Some people often sacrifice a lot to chase a dream, and then life hits them in the balls, and they have to pick up and start again.
Yeah, but again, that's not a high school story.
Yeah, that is something that would be the Golden Palace story. Or Playground. It's called the Golden Playground, it's not the Golden Palace.
Yeah, whatever the Catherine one was, is the series you would need to pursue an idea like that.
Oh, I would love something like that. It probably wouldn't be great, but I would love to explore something like that, just, seeing a more mature and realistic story, despite the, all the stuff about the Novosphere and the collective unconscious. I have not paid attention to Oya's story at all. I just realized.
I don't know what's going on here, but
from what I could gather, she was
gushing about the Phantom Thieves.
Well, she also got blackmailed into stopping her investigation, or else she's gonna get fucking murked. But I don't know. I can see why nobody likes Oya, and it's not because she's a bad character; it's because she's uninteresting.
Also, she's functionally worthless.
Yep.
All right.
In a game where you have limited time, it's very important that you prioritize what benefits you're gonna get.
You know how they could have made Oya work?
By not making her shit?
Yeah, but the way I see it is that it should have been a automatic social link by merit of she is risking her life to get you information for your missions.
It's true, she's still a better option than Mishima.
Yeah, because even though she's a slobbering drunk, she's still, normal. And actually, no, I can't say that, because she, tried to solicit us as an underage relationship. It's one of those situations where I want to like her, but I'm not getting anything from her.
That's fine. Just don't tell her that you're about to go get domed by toddlers.
Give me some news.
What? I'm sorry, what?
One of the social links is in the metaverse. It's a weird thing that goes on for each game, but in the metaverse you are assisted by two twins that are like 10 years old, but they're constantly bullying you.
Right.
And I
prison cell thing.
And I hate them with every fiber of my being.
So, to be fair, this is literally the only game of the ones that I've seen, at least, that is weird about it.
Yeah, the other games are fine, and Persona 3 he had Elizabeth, and she seems fucking cool.
Also, that was on an elevator, and then in 4 it was in a limo.
In 4 you had Margaret, and she's okay.
She exists. She exists.
She's pretty, but she's does nothing for you. She's inoffensive. In
And
this
then
game,
Golden had Marie, who sucked ass.
yeah, right. Here you have two 10-year-olds that bully you, and it's just like, what the fuck is happening here? Give me Elizabeth.
For reference, Chitlin, Marie is like tsundere bullshit on blast.
I don't even think Chitlin knows what tsundere is.
I'm sure Chitlin's heard the word.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I know what it is.
Just a raging asshole who's in love with you, basically. Just absolutely shitty.
So
That's
what
Just keeps leaving her garbage poetry all over the fucking limo, and just gets really angry at you every time you read the shitty poetry. I'm like, bitch, I regret reading that shit.
Okay.
It sucks. It's real bad.
Man, what were we doing?
It's
Oh.
like, wow, I understand why you got angry at me. This sucks.
It's so funny that this version of the game brags about having more time to do things. Like, you have more time to live an everyday high school life. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know what to fucking do with my time.
Also, yeah, Marie's twist is really stupid. Like, incredibly
Isn't
stupid.
she like an elder god or something?
She's one facet of Izanagi.
Oh, that's dumb.
Just like how the boss you fought, a couple of bosses you fought were, as well.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're at December 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sad I came in 2 days after my birthday in this game. Real fucked up.
Shall we begin?
Sorry, dude.
I missed the 3rd. Oh, what'll I do? I'm sure you didn't do anything interesting anyway.
I think the 3rd was the day we beat Senator Armstrong. No, it wasn't. It was like 11:30. But like, it's funny you mentioned birthdays because I'm still fucking baffled that like the big cutscene for Kasumi happens on my birthday. It's so fucking weird.
It's their gift to you.
Yeah,
Just a
Chitlin.
little present.
I don't know how deep you are. I don't know how much you know about the big meme for this, but there is a custom-made Highwang waifu that
Oh
gets
yeah, you've told me about this. Yeah.
that gets a radical cutscene that makes her seem like an awesome person, and that cutscene takes place on my birthday. It feels so uncanny. But yeah, like, Oya is one of those things where I kind of wish there was some give so I could get what the story's about. Makoto is just one where like I don't get why people like her. I guess she's just not my type. But like, ugh. She's supposedly one of the most popular characters in this version of the game, and I'm just not seeing it. Like she's
serious and studious.
like she's radical and she has like this hot-blooded anime opening when she gets her persona, but once you get to know her, it's kind of boring. Not gonna lie. She's very work-oriented, and I'm not Like, I don't need that in my
Such
life.
serious and studious. And you can't even floof her hair.
Exactly.
True,
Har-
Makoto's good in that you can tell her sister you're boning her.
That just seems mean. I'm not one for a spite
Say
fuck.
deserves being mean too.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. Like, Haru just seems like the kind of gal I'd enjoy hanging out with.
Haru
She's-
is lovely.
Hifumi is absolutely a person I'd hang out with, and I did, and I think she's radical. But also
Yeah, and
Haru
then you started
is great.
making fucking chest puns when you boned her.
The game put one in my lap. They put one in my lap when they said a reverse pin, and I was like, that's good. That's really fucking good.
Yeah, you showed her the old scholar's mate.
Like, my relationship with Hifumi is the best worst thing, is that it's a relationship based on passion and also one-upping each other with chess puns.
Thank you.
Like, another thing I feel like this game needs, just not like as a means of like a moral quandary, but just as a stab to the player of like, I know what you're fucking doing, dude. There should be situations where, like, say, if you're in a relationship, the person should check in and be like, I've noticed you've been hanging out with this gal a lot. What's up with that? Make it feel a little bit more realistic, because there's absolutely no way I should be getting away with this.
Why is there a situation where your girlfriend creeps through your phone?
Not creeps through your phone, but there should be a situation where, like, she sees you hanging out in one of the social links, and then there's later like, hey, I saw you hanging out with, like, this floofy-haired gal yesterday. What's up with that? And it should be a situation like, oh yeah, it's one of my classmates. She was dealing with some shit. I'm just helping her get away with that. Like,
Can't wait to get threatened with a murder-suicide. Oh boy.
I don't want it to be that bad, but I find it, like, super unrealistic.
Oh
that-
man, that's a nice vote.
What?
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 School days?
You lost me.
Thank you.
It's fine.
You know, I should probably use the restroom before I do this cutscene, because I've actually invested with this cutscene, and I need to use it.
I'm sure at least 2 people in chat will understand me, and that's what matters.
Until apparently there's a charm now.
Yeah, basically there was a show, School Days, where the main character kept fucking a bunch of girls. This made one of the girls snap, and she went to murder the fuck out of him, but because there was actually a pretty gruesome murder, not long before that, they cut to a shot of a boat.
That was their impromptu.
That was their censorship, yep.
Wow.
I legitimately have no clue. Oh, I mentioned it while you were gone for shits and giggles.
No.
I mean, I can, technically speaking. No, I will. I'll be nice this time. Nice boat is a meme.
Yes.
There you go. Basically, it's the show about a dude who fucked a lot of girls and has caused one of the girls to snap and murder him brutally. But because there was actually a very brutal murder, not too long before that episode aired, they censored the murder with the shot of a boat.
Oh shit, I'm like double muted. Hang on.
Surprised Highway didn't do this. This seems like
Yeah, I'm fucking shocked. It was kind of a big thing.
Yeah, it's just something I never got around to. Also, are you guys ready to watch a high school girl's hopes and dreams be crushed by unfeeling corporate overlords?
Hell yeah!
Because that's what's gonna happen right now.
Need that crippling depression.
is that like a wool sweater but without full sleeves and a zipper?
Yeah.
No, it has a zipper. But yeah, there's like half sleeves and a really big turtleneck.
Jesus Christ, that thing is confusing.
It's supposed to stylize the character because Haru's a very like one of Haru's characteristic definitions is just like poofiness. Kind of like how how do I codify this? Like every character in your team has a defining characteristic that is visual. Like Anne is kind of this seductress look. Makoto is straightforward, punchy, powerful. Futaba is geeky, nerdy. Haru is light and fluffy, as you could tell by her high-pitched voice, her bubbly personality, her hair, and her clothing.
Has Chitlin even heard her voice?
Probably not.
Also, yeah, Nelson JD specified, which is they actually just did not air the episode and aired a tourism video.
Oh, I thought that was
And it's just become endlessly mocked. It's great.
But yeah, I just never saw that anime.
But just replace the murder with a boat.
It's not worth seeing, if I'm gonna be honest.
That's fair.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes there are just shows that are not worth watching. Like, I think the first time I realized that not all anime is great and I could just, like, pick and choose at my leisure. I remember watching, like, the first 3 episodes of Lucky Star and thinking, man, this show is dog shit. Why do people like it? Believe in yourself. This is an interesting scenario that Haru is doing, because if I were her, I probably wouldn't have told this guy that the coffee was made by her. I would have gotten the opinion first and then gauge what he said, and then reveal, oh, I made it myself. Just because it's a great way to judge if someone's, like, trying to suck up to you, or they're being earnest with you. Leading with the thought of, oh, I made this, kind of deposits a mindset in a person's head. Which is what I think Haru's going for right now. What were you gonna say, Chitlin?
No, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, she should have seen if he actually liked the coffee before she started dropping her pitch on him.
It's an interesting aspect because it's both a measure of trust and
Excuse me?
ideologies. So it's really interesting to see Haru like address this. Because before we met her, she had a very like, I don't know how to describe it other by means of like a very like personality of like, imagine trying to push on curtains. Like no give, no way. She just kind of like went with the flow and didn't make any waves. And now she's getting self-confidence.
So why are we here?
Haru is trying desperately to, like, understand how to run a business, but she's also trying to figure out who she could trust in the company, because she is a 16-year-old girl in a company of, like, 30 to 40-year-olds that are really trying to, you know, get in good with her so they can, like, run the company themselves by manipulating her. So she's trying to figure out who she could trust. So right now she's trying to see if the current VP of the company is trustworthy. So she's effectively, like, testing his ideology by making her pitch.
I mean, I'd argue a 16-year-old girl shouldn't be running a company, but that's just me.
I do too, but
You're
she,
right.
she,
And that's me right there.
I think she, it's mainly because she,
Anime.
yeah, that's a good one.
Anime, yeah.
She basically doesn't want her father's and grandfather's dream to die to corporations.
It's just like
Despite being a corporation.
it's just like that classic Billy Madison.
Yeah. Though it turns
Yeah.
out apparently the VP was actually a former customer of the grandfather, so it may be in good hands. Though I got a feeling that the social link is going to wind up with us trying to brainjack the weirdo trying to force a marriage on her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
Which is sad that we have to resolve this by brainjacks.
Brainjacking it.
Getting into the coffee business or something? I don't really know.
In fact, I think this whole social link would have been better if they had just dropped the whole forced marriage arrangement. It's
Yeah,
weird.
you'd have thought it was over.
Like, it's hard enough for the 16-year-old to come to terms with, like, the cold, unfeeling world of the corporate structure. And that's a really good story to follow. But it feels like they had to, like, inject some unnecessary drama just to get a video game segment in. And it's gross. Fenful, so far in the social link, Haru was testing to see if the VP of Okamura Foods was a trustworthy person. And after, expressing her ideologies on him, she realized that, turns out the VP is actually a trustworthy person because he used to be a customer of her granddad's. And the VP specifically said, "You know what, Haru? You have absolutely every right to not trust any motherfucker in this company. Everybody is actively trying to manipulate you. But it seems like you're starting to understand this, so I think we could trust the company in your hands." Yeah, the arranged marriage is a good piece of conflict. It just feels... It feels... like an entirely different story happening at the same time. Like, if the social link was entirely about annulling the marriage, that would make sense. It wouldn't be a good story, but it'd be a sensical story. Granted, this story about someone coming to... Like someone like Haru, a very nice and caring person having to deal with something this big is a fascinating story, but would not have, like, a sensible plot ball to chase.
Well, it just kind of feels like a way of shoehorning in the spiritual lobotomy bit.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is.
Because, like, otherwise it's this completely separate story that just kind of pops its head in for drama.
Yeah, it's basically, oh, we're not getting drama, the people are losing attention, ring the conflict bell.
I mean, why can't we just mind jack her to take away her insecurity about running the business?
No, you take away their worldly desires, you see? Or their twisted desires, they call it, but...
You have my thanks.
Twisted desires.
Yeah, I think the reason why we can't do that is because she's not, like, mentally unstable like anybody else we brainjacked.
She's not pure fucking evil.
She's not a rotten adult, as this game would state. And that being said, I think Haru is, like, probably the most likable and pure person in this entire fucking cast.
Man, remember that time we beat up someone's psyche so they no longer had suicidal thoughts? That was weird.
Wait, when was that?
Futaba.
Oh, right. Yeah, the redhead like sister character, that was a interesting thing because it wasn't basically like trying to remedy someone. It was just basically trying to help someone get over suicidal thoughts by beating up the weird mental projection of their mother.
You know, like you do.
That story could have been better if there was no boss fight. That is, like, there's a lot of plots in this game that state violence is the answer, when really it's not.
I mean, basically, like, all I've been hearing about your criticisms of the plot of this game is it would be a lot better if this wasn't a video game.
And that's why there's an anime.
And the anime's terrible. My main criticism of the plot is, like, well, I could see a better writer sublimating the Phantom Thieves mindset into these stories. It's just that the writer's terrible. That's my entire beef with it. Like, the writer believes that violence is the answer to everything, and that relationships are a dependency rather than a relationship.
Also, I feel like the violence is always the answer is more of like a mechanical contrivance. Like,
Yeah.
it's a fucking RPG about beating the shit out of demons. We gotta fit that in for every dungeon, or else it won't be satisfying.
Well, the thing they could have done was, make the social links not violent at all. Get your murder hobo on in the main plot.
Yeah, but then the people who actually like the combat will be like, well, there's not enough gameplay here.
That's
yeah,
true
secret
too.
Persona. True. It's valid numbers.
Wait. Oh! The VP is gonna annul the marriage. Hello?
Again, we win by doing nothing.
And the
Well-
rights would probably go to him, I guess.
I gotta review that because I missed that portion talking about game design. Going so quickly, I can understand how you became such a kind woman. I apologize for not seeing that sooner. What about the contract with Sugimura? He said that reparations would be immense if I refused the marriage. I have heard a thing about this contract. Have you seen the document? No. And neither your father nor lawyers have mentioned it to me. It seems he was lying, and many have had help of particular people within that company. You see, those who don't agree with my vision brought him into the meetings in hopes that he would eventually take over. However, we don't need a politician in our midst, considering the humble roots. As for the marriage cancellation, I'll handle it. Man, the VP is actually... This is so weird! I was expecting a cold, unfeeling corporate structure, but no.
have my
Turns out the VP is actually a good dude.
Fucked up.
I'm glad I had my expectations, like, shattered here. But I got a feeling that the creepy dude is not gonna let the marriage be annulled.
They're not even married. There's no written contract.
Well, there's no legal basis, but I'm pretty sure that dude does not act on legal terms.
But also, they're not married, so there's nothing to annul.
True. It's such a weird thing. I think there was like some...
Thank you.
That is an interesting point. What were we worried about?
Well, we thought that there was a contract.
Ah. God, going through this only makes me realize, man, they really do set you up for like the romantic option. So when you choose to be just platonic friends, it's like a knife. It's like a knife in the heart of the girl.
Doesn't help that half the time you just help them get over, like, traumatic issues in their life, so it feels like a weird dependency thing.
Yeah, that's a lot of what the relationships are. It's just dependency, and it's...
There's a certain power dynamic that makes it weird.
Speaking of which,
Especially because you yourself are perfect.
remember how Hifumi
Oh, yeah.
said?
She'll
Remember
die
how?
for you.
Yeah, remember how Hifumi said she will commit her life to being the best woman for me? That is kind of the thing here, in that everyone's rank 9 is basically they will die for you, and it's a very weird thing to hear from anybody you choose to date.
I mean, in Persona
Alright.
4, they pretty much would die for you. Well, in Golden at least. I don't remember the normal one. They would pretty much die for you right away.
Yeah, and it's rank 3 in the original.
Yeah.
Takamura said something a little strange. Oh.
Will you decide?
I hate this so much.
Do you want to floof the hair?
I want to do so as a platonic friend.
There's no such thing as platonic floofing.
I want to believe, okay?
You cannot floof platonically.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it there. That's
Heart crushed to dust.
that's the worst. And it happened twice today.
Here's
Oh!
no floof for you.
That's oh. See, that's the worst of it. They didn't think you would say no to someone, so the writing makes it feel especially bad.
You will never get the floof.
I still stand by my decision.
You just want to make chess puns.
Yes. Like, it is the perfect relationship, based entirely in passion, board games, and outdoing each other with puns. Do 3 for Max Makoto. I don't think I could do Max Makoto's in the time frame we got.
Yeah, that's what, 3 stages?
Yeah. I could probably Max Makoto's in general, but not
If
today.
only you could smell it too, but you can't because you rejected me. Shame you're not here in my room smelling this coffee. It smells amazing.
It's right on my bedside table, which is where you could have been. Dick.
Too bad can't smell anything over the phone, loser.
They haven't made smell-o-vision for your stupid ass. I just imagine this will be a situation where I'm hanging out with Hifumi and she's like, what was that about? It's complicated. Yeah, that's the worst. They wrote it to where you can see her heart fucking breaking in half. I have made 2 cat ladies today.
You're back.
It's fine, I'm sure she can do better.
Probably. She's a head of a multi-million-dollar corporation.
No, so you're gonna be vanishing soon enough anyway.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the rub, isn't it? That you always leave the area that you're in, and
Yep.
nobody follows you. Well, then again, they can't really because it's a high school story. Nope. Though it is funny that there is, in fact, one girl in this game that will pick up her shit and leave with you. Everybody else, though? Nah.
Who's that girl?
The fortune teller.
Oh yeah.
Because she's kind of a sort of... She kind of doesn't really have anything going for her here anyway. She's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go with you. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the story should be like, nah, I'm just gonna live here. I think I'm enough of an adult to make that decision. Yeah, let's not discuss it, because maybe I do want to, like, read up on that. Is there anything I could do tonight? Anything at all? Anything at... well... I mean, yeah, let's check out Oya's story.
Also, let's be real. Haru, with all her money, could just visit you at any
Oh,
point anyway.
honey.
Yeah. God. This game, like, my situation in the story would have 3 alternate realities, and each of them is like the breaking point of who do you date.
This is the weirdest Zero Escape game I've ever seen.
I know, right? Only good endings. How the fuck does that happen?
Even the single ending.
God, like in my head, the Oyo, the one with the Haru sounds really enticing because if I had to guess, it's just basically gonna be her giving up the company and you just like make a little cafe and work there, and it's just super delightful, even though it's not like the best business. And every
She
so
could live off of royalties, I'm sure.
and then every so often, Sojiro comes in and is just like, "You're doing better, kid, but you'll never be as good as me." Yeah.
I'm sure in her father's will she
Okay.
had fucking stock options in the company or whatever.
Damn it.
Like, her money's not disappearing.
Numbers, you do realize that even if Mishima is the only social link, I would rather instead go to the gym, because 4 HP and 3 SP is way more worth my time than dealing with that sexual predator that is Mishima. And I am not exaggerating. He solicits people for sex by clout. He is a terrible person and not worth my time.
Yeah, exactly. She owns most of the stock from her dad. Like, her money's not going anywhere.
True.
The cafe would be a side thing.
I don't know business, so I really know nothing about that. I don't know. I still think fucking Hifumi is rad as fuck, though. Even especially after reading about what she could have been. Damn.
Yeah, no, it never clicked with me.
Shit.
This is different tastes, that's all.
Your tastes disgust me.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
I will later.
I enjoy hanging out with my fucking radical ass girlfriend. It's like the most petty argument ever. What the fuck?
Your waifu sucks.
You suck!
I do. That's unrelated.
But yeah, there's a very distinct reason why I'm only sticking with the one. And it's a very obvious line that everyone should know, and that you should only have the one waifu. Too many waifus will ruin your waifu. Fortunately, Oya, I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, but Oya is not one of them. I'm just kind of here because I can't really have I don't really have anything better to do. Also, we haven't had a memento for Haru yet.
To be fair, we kinda did destroy her dad.
True. Oh, is this the memento scenario for Oya? Oh yeah, Nickel Arcade.
Also, Airman knows what's up. More than one waifu will destroy your, will ruin your waifu, but you'll be called a coward by the other commentators.
Hey man, that's fucking fine. I don't care. That being said, I am very slightly feeling the grass is greener on the other side thing after hanging out with Haru for so much.
And then breaking her heart. You monster.
That right there, that made me feel bad.
The worst part is, it's not like you can break up with anyone either. It's you're just locked into this relationship for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically all or nothing, and it's kind of weird.
And it's kind of embarrassing that
Sorry.
people often use this as a metric for what a relationship is supposed to be like.
It's true, relationships end at fucking. The old pump and dump.
I had a like, I don't know why I engaged with this, but there was a situation I had where I was in a Persona thread on 4chan, and there was one comment where somebody was like, people were wondering like, why do people like Makoto? And one person said, I don't know, people just like boring people with nothing interesting going for them. And I just sat there like, you know, given what I've seen in the story, having someone that's not completely fucking insane and is just a normal person that has a normal relationship with you sounds pretty nice, actually.
Also, you can tell her sister, you're fucking her.
That too. But
It's
yeah,
like the icing on the cake.
it's so
Oh,
easy
delicious.
to tell that fans of this game have a very... It's amusing that I'm going to use this fucking terminology. It's very amusing to tell that people have a very distorted... Fans of this game have a very, very distorted idea of what a relationship is.
Look, I just love the idea of just rubbing it in Say's face by saying, yeah, I'm fucking your sister too.
Maybe I'm just too much of a fucking uncrime boy, but I cannot
Look,
see myself
spite
making...
is a powerful motivator.
Yeah, and it's just not mine.
I am a creature full of hate.
And we got stuff done today. Like, we got Futaba to level 10, we got Haru almost to level 10.
You broke her heart.
Stop it! You ass! Stop
The
it!
taste. Went to town on that shit.
Knock it
Tenderized the
off!
fuck out of it.
Shut up!
Thwack, thwack, thwack.
Knock it off!
It's really rude.
Ugh. Man.
Yeah,
Just
we've
trying to-
had Alice for a while.
And just trying to figure out where to go next. I think tomorrow I have to do a... How many requests do I have? I have 3. I can do a meme toe tomorrow. But yeah, what am I gonna do next? I should do a team member next, honestly. I guess it's gonna be Makoto? Who do I have on my team right now? It's me, Haru, Makoto.
And Chat's right. By denying her, you will never touch the floof.
Stop it!
No
Damn
floof for you.
Fucking stamp! Ugh. It's funny how I'm more broken up over this than Kasumi.
It's where you know nothing about Kasumi.
Yeah, I know.
No floof.
Ugh.
You will now live a floof-free life.
It's so weird because I didn't think I'd be like this hung up about it. Cause like you remember Naota? Like she was like in the same situation as Haru, where she was like in the tail end of the game and you didn't have time to hang out with her. But hanging out with Naota felt like a fucking job. Haru was cool.
Yeah, part of what makes the new coffee so delicious is her tears.
Why are you like this? What's wrong with you?
Buddy, let me break out the list.
But yeah, I think, yeah, Makoto's definitely next because she's a really good mix of support and offense abilities. We're definitely going to see Evolved Haru next. And I don't know who's going to be the third person on my roster. Because Ryuji's cool, but man, in combat, he's just not useful at all. Anne's okay, but I don't find her interesting as a character. Yusuke's a weird alien? Kind of find Haru boring. Ah! She has this neat little, like, dark sense of humor to her, where she's like, she's sweet and kind, but she's also willing to pull a prank on you and make you, like, drink something really nasty without you knowing. I just found her to be delightful. And here we have Mishima in the garbage where he deserves to be.
In the trash.
We almost got like a bunch of everybody. Like, man.
Damn, Arrowman's right. You know who's hanging later? Haru, alone in her room with coffee.
It's so weird though that we have almost every social link maxed out, yet the only recently had a team member, and it's not even like an actual ass team member. It was Futaba.
It's almost like most of your team members kind of are boring.
Yeah, kinda. I like them more than P4, honestly. Like, even though I don't hang out with Ryuji, he's like worlds and miles ahead better than Yosuke. Anne is okay, but like she's a little too magical Christmas land for my tastes. Yusuke's fun to hang around with, but I feel like other opportunities have been more important. Makoto's alright, but man, hanging out with her feels like a job. Futaba was a blast to hang around with. Haru was fun to hang around with. That's why I focused on them, because I enjoyed them more than anyone else. I'm trying to see Futaba's persona. Because, like, that was the fucking cool thing. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, Torpo, but we got this thing.
Yeah, Prometheus.
I like this better than Necronomicon, honestly.
Also, it makes more sense if we're talking Rebellion.
Rebellion and, you know, Thievery, because this dude just straight up stole fire from the gods.
Like you do.
But yeah, we'll continue this tomorrow.
Hey, you have all those sweet P
I'll
coins.
just add this.
Never gonna use them. Don't know what they're good for.
Well, you saw the Thieves Den, maybe it's for that.